The headlines tonight: Heseltine's teeth removed to boost pound, Branson's clockwork dog crosses Atlantic floor, and sacked chimney sweep pumps boss full of mayonnaise. These are the facts. Let's kick the stick from the blind man of ignorance. Welcome. On the day-to-day tonight, David Owen emerges shattered from Oliver Reed.
I don't think I've ever seen anything quite such, so totally wanton, ghastly, mess, terrible.
And John McGregor describes how he was reassured by the king of an alien spaceship that mankind's survival was not threatened by their plans to blow up the Earth.
He has suggested one or two steps which we ought to take, all of which we've taken, which he describes as dealing with a remote theoretical risk, but we've taken them in order to ensure that there is no risk to humans.
London Transport say they may have to close the underground system because of an infestation of horses. A report published yesterday described the effects of the equine plague as like an abattoir in a power cut. Ted Maul reports.
For years, the system of tunnels and shafts has harboured a small population of wild horses without bothering the commuters. The only pest control necessary was performed by the teams of fluffers, who to this day remove clots of hair from the tracks.
See the hair?
Then in 1970 came the crackers, special staff who had to patrol the darkened tunnels every day and kill the horses with hammers. But now, say officials, the horses have become a menace.
Due to a large pile of horses blocking the line at Marble Arch, all services have been cancelled.
Many of the drivers are heavily traumatised. Only one today could describe the conditions.
Loads of horses, at least 30, I'd say. As a train approaches, they start running away from the train. Stampede in the opposite direction, like.
And what the drivers say they fear most of all is a head-on collision with a blind tube mare.
Well, it's instant death. It comes straight through the cab window, crushes you to death. Personally, I think the management should round him up. Get rid of him.
And in a statement issued just 10 minutes ago, the Home Secretary announced that he personally will be going into the tunnels this weekend, armed with a special gun.
The Day Today, slamming the wasps from the pure apple of truth.
It's 5 to 10. Time for sport.
Hello, I'm Alan Partridge and this is Sports Desk. Football. And Nottingham Forest may soon be Nottingham D Forest if coach Liam O'Kane has anything to do with it. He's ordered the entire team to shave their groins in an attempt to enable greater laminar airflow and reduce buckling and weaving of the tendons. The newly depilated men will be shown off to Nottingham fans this evening. On to tennis now, and the sensational young Bulgarian protégé Mila Milandrovic was wowing everybody in Southampton this afternoon as she prepares for the finals of the Ordnance Survey Maps Cup. I was lucky enough to catch up with her this morning as she was practising with some nets. You are from Bulgaria.
Bulgaria.
I can imagine when you were small, you were probably taken away from your parents and put in a sports camp.
No, we had the tennis court at my house, and my father was my coach.
You weren't put in a sports camp and trained into a tennis machine?
No, I went to school. It's normal. I would work a lot.
You must be devastated for your countrymen who are subsisting on a diet of bread, potatoes, water and, I don't know, beer. Do you feel guilty?
No, people eat.
Most of your countrywomen tend to have affected a kind of, well, a moustache. And you, I have to say, have got a very, very sort of top lip. It's quite nice. It's very nice. It's sort of very fine and...
Well, I've never suffered from facial hair, but they have electrolysis in my country. You know.
Electrolysis for dissidents.
The Day Today, taking the news reefer and pulling like a madman.
If you're a criminal awaiting execution in the United State of Tennessee, your hope is that they throw your switch on Martin Luther King's birthday. If they do, state law allows you to choose the precise manner in which your votes are delivered. This report from Barbara Wintergreen of American news company CBN has received the best our digital transponder can give it, without, to my mind, showing any clear benefit in picture quality gain.
Tennessee State Penitentiary. For some, it's death row, but for convicted mass murderer Chapman Baxter, it's the last night at Heartbreak Hotel. Baxter's an Elvis fan, and tomorrow he dies like a king.
I always been a poor boy, never done nothing with my life, always taken from any community I've ever been in. I just figure I just want to die glorious, I just want to die like the king, like the only King, Elvis Presley.
A special death bowl has been installed for this gruesome Presley demise.
He died on the toilet full of drugs and cheeseburgers. That's the way I'm going to go. I ain't going to no electric chair, I'm going to the electric toilet.
Like Presley, Baxter will gorge on cheeseburgers and drugs until he reaches 650 pounds. The historic weight will trigger the electric current and see Baxter skip dessert. Among those who'll be watching Baxter get all shook up is Tennessee Presley Fan Club president Alvin Haller. Some people might say that this was debasing the memory of the king. Do you agree with that?
No, ma'am, no. King did that himself by dying on the John in a big nappy.
But a special cheeseburger line in grim Elvabilia has gone on sale to commemorate tomorrow's pan fry. But maybe after today, that is how people will think of the king.
You can keep it right there.
Press and protesters conduct a silent vigil outside this special disgraceland, while inside, Baxter chooses his backing vocals.
I figured jailhouse rock be kind of appropriate. Maybe Are You Lonesome Tonight always moves me, that song.
Thank you, Chapman Baxter, and good luck.
Well, thank you, Missy.
At dawn, all hope of a retrial gone down the pan, Baxter prepares to return to sender. In a few moments' time, America will watch the Presley stand-in eat a sit-down meal with a difference. And if he eats too much, he may come out in a hot flush.
Are you sorry?
So, as Baxter turns as blue as his suede shoes, this is very definitely one burger king with extra fries to go. Barbara Wintergreen, CBN News at the Elvicution, Tennessee State Penitentiary.
The day today. The last scintilla of doubt just rode out of town.
It's 62 towards high 3. Collaterally Sisters is about to roll her eyes into the business tunnel.
Thanks, Chris.
Take her off the monitor. I don't want to see her
and
face.
No let-up today for British manufacturers. The quarterly reports make fairly gloomy reading. There were large profit slumps for Musters Margins and Watney Heckbulb. Transit Chris Fathom rolled to 1.6, joining Activated Hedges and Walker Cadavero on a lower third rung. There was better news for Edgeledge Wedge Barge, who mustered 2.41 up 88 very slightly, but Oxy McGee flew back a ninth, that despite a creeping bid from Michael Ryan's Hotels. On the currency markets, trading soft all day with a very flat afternoon. How did the pound fare? Well, a glance at the currency cat and you can see, not too well. That's a disconcerting 47-degree slope against London. The dollar, yen and Deutschmark having a much better time of it. If we project on current form, the pound leg could become insignificant within 4 months, leading to an effective amputation. The cat now tripodular, and any future resurgence in sterling would create a rogue leg with no hip constituency at all. Overall then, for tomorrow's markets, good evening. Slightly fractious in the 9s and 7s. Chris.
Well, now it's time for our special revelation report. If you mention the Church of England to anybody, they immediately think of choristers and wafers. But for some, the Church packs a more deadly message. This report from Sarah Whoops.
If you mention the Church of England to most people, they immediately think of the sacraments and the holy blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. But to many within the Church, there is another ritual, the ritual of the bullying ritual. Ex-curate Peter Litterton was intimidated by his very first vicar.
I went to the bathroom to wash after dinner and I found my flannel in the toilet. Another time I went into the bathroom and all the bristles, bar one, had been cut off from my toothbrush. Another time he put bleach in my shaving cream and Mrs. Cape stifled a giggle.
I see. This is St Barley's Church in Coventry. Barley's vicar, Bobby Skye, is a former bully himself, but has now decided to speak out.
if a young deacon was being inordinated, then during the inordination ceremony, we would hum during his sermon, so we would be going, and he would be trying to speak and not knowing who was humming. And
How many of you were humming?
About 200 of us, 200 vicars, all going,
Ready? Bermuda Triangle.
Heather Collins has done a lot of popular work in the community. She too has felt the pain.
I wasn't trying to eavesdrop at all. I was just getting on with my work, and I could hear the bishop was taking Colin through the steps of a christening for the next day. He then took Colin by the scruff of the neck and said, "I'll show you how to do a christening. I'll sodding well show you." And he just pushed his head towards the font. I said, "Don't do that, don't do that. This is ridiculous." And he said, "I'll do a sodding sight more than that." And he just rampaged around the church.
But while some are brave enough to speak out, others are still quietly being beaten up. Here in the vestry of St Champs in Coventry, we secretly rigged up one of our cameras to record some bad ecclesiastical hurting.
Hello, Paul.
Evening, Bishop. Evening,
What are you doing?
Just tidying up after the service.
So you've been folding that cassock. Do you think you folded that properly? What do you think?
I'll do it again.
What do you call him? Answer the question. Bishop, now did you fold it properly?
I thought I'd folded it.
I thought I'd folded it properly.
Now, I was collecting up the hymn books, very well, these exact books.
Yes.
And I was stacking them, like so.
Yes.
And I'd stacked up to my chin.
I see.
So I was at really at full stretch with about 30 hymn books. And he said, "Come on, Peter, you can fit another one in there." I said, "No, I can't, Reverend Cape, I really can't." And he pushed one in. He said, "You can fit another one." I said, "I can't." And he pulled my hair right back.
I have seen Reverend Harris lift altar boys off the floor by their nostrils.
What's that? What's that? What's that? What's that? They all fell on the floor and he said, "Pick them up, pick them up, pick them up,
yes.
Pick them up." And then he ran along this pew, like that, and threw the books. "Pick them up, pick them up."
You do look a rather foolish boy, Paul. Clean it up. I'll be back later.
The bullying has got to stop. Stop the bullying. Start taking care of your flock. Pick on someone your own size. God's bigger than all of us.
The time is almost exactly 17 minutes past 9. And that means that there are 3,416,400 minutes left till the end of the century. And that's the amount of time 5 critics and cultural commentators in a sealed studio in Kensington have to keep talking. They're called Debate 2000, and in 1990 they embarked on a 10-year discussion designed to pull into focus everything that modern man has achieved. Debate 2000 is available exclusively to the day-to-day through a triple-screened green cable which terminates in this studio's far left-hand wall.
Well, let's ask then, what is a novel?
A novel is a tool produced by a worker in an industry called culture.
Oh, balderdash.
Very clever. Very clever.
Because we can all agree that a novel is composed of words. So maybe we should discuss what is a word.
A word?
I think that's
Yes.
a bit basic. I mean, what are we going to achieve by
That's a word.
What is a word?
That's a lot of words there.
I don't see
that's
that.
Some more.
If I could just
That's
come in.
The words are absolutely fine.
These are irrelevancies. We have to actually go beyond that and please, and ask what is silence?
Yes.
Because what is silence? Yes.
We need to create
something.
We need to create a discourse of silence.
Exactly.
Yes. No, he's absolutely right.
I'm not saying.
Right, if we could just move
Oh,
on.
no!
We were trying to
we were trying to establish
No,
talking
but we weren't ready to
just
move on.
chattering away. Can't you just be quiet?
You're not spitting on me.
Debate 2000 showing that in Europe at least there's no disagreement about trading words. Time now for Sports Desk with Alan Partridge. Alan, you're a bit of a word man, aren't you? You like to feel a word.
I don't mind. I certainly words, where would we be without them? We wouldn't be able to communicate, and certainly always handy when you're having a conversation.
Yes, words. What do they feel like when they come out of your mouth?
What?
What does a word feel like when it comes out?
Well, it sort of, whoa.
Yeah, but does a long word feel different to a short one?
Yeah, certainly. Long ones. Right.
What about significant words? How do they feel? Alan?
What?
Well, how do significant words feel when they come out?
Long ones.
Are they different in texture to...
Yeah. Hello and welcome to Sports Desk with me.
Buttress is a significant word.
Yeah. Alan Partridge. And it's a special desk of sport now, as we look back on some of the sporting highlights of the past sports season. So lie down, relax, and let these sports commence. When it's cycling championships you're after, you can't say fairer than the Tour de France.
Di Brandauer there in the lead, swaying from side to side in his own inimitable bike riding way. Klaus Bin there on the inside, pumping away with those gristle-like muscly legs inside those tight lycra shorts, which have become his trademark. And I don't know what this man is playing at. There's no way. Surely the judges must come down like a ton of bricks on that. Carrying bikes on top of a car is not a sportsmanlike way to run this race. You join me in the helicopter now as we look down on these cyclists that look somehow like cattle in a mad way, but cattle on bikes. And there's Sven Gunsen, closely followed by his great friend and teammate Klaus Bin. And the man with the bikes on his car is, yes, he's disqualified, as I said. And Klaus Bin there wins, riding non-handed. No need for that.
And it was upsets all the way in the dive championships.
Greg Lagani, down, double back twister, bangs his head in, textbook, lovely. Let's see it again. He boings down, up in the air, double back twister, comes down, bangs his head on the board and in, lovely. The judges surely will give him high marks for that.
And how's this for a tumble?
There she goes. Bounce, flip over and over and over, and then down, and then back and over and over and over and over, back and over and over and up and down. And that bit with the hands there, not so good. I mean, I can do that.
But for my money, the best punches were being pulled this season in the boxing ring.
There, round 4 in the middle of it here with the plucky Liverpudlian and the ginger boxer, as he's affectionately known to me. Thank goodness, actually, they're wearing gloves, because I've witnessed bare-knuckle boxing in a barn in Somerset about 3 years ago, and it was a sorry sight to see men goading them on in such a barbaric fashion, and I'm rather ashamed to say I was party to that goading. And 2 men fighting, as I saw in the barn that night, naked as the day they were born, and fighting the way God intended. Wrestling at points. I don't know if you've seen Women in Love, the marvellous scene by the fire. It kind of resembled that.
I'm Alan Partridge, and that was my sporting season. Why don't you join me again for another one? Join me.
Matters green now. Rosie May's Enviromation.
Greenosphere.
This is Rosie May with news from Green Earth, and Britain is soon to have its first portable cemetery. The cemetery, which opens to the size of a football pitch and features real soil, can hold up to 1,000 corpses. The portable cemetery saves waste.
Green on.
Scientists in northern Canada have found a large hole in the horizon. The gap separating the sky from the ground has been measured as much as 1 mile high. Experts had temporarily tethered the sky to the earth with large winching ropes, but there are fears it could snap apart in the spring.
Green.
Take a look at this.
Are you a qualified welder?
Yeah, I've got an HND, which qualifies me to weld, yeah.
That's marvellous. Oh, brilliant. So you could, rebuild the underside of any car if it was,
I can do chassis rebuilds.
I think that's the most brilliant talent to have.
Definitely.
I think that's one of the most brilliant talents.
Tremendously creative, though.
It's just fantastic. It's just common sense.
No. This is all very interesting, I'm sure, but we have an agenda.
We'll talk about all your stuff.
Exactly. Now it's not my stuff.
It is all your
stuff. The stuff.
What do you mean, this stuff?
The stuff that we are supposed to talk about.
It's
not my stuff.
No, the agenda is not so fixed as that.
Sure, yes, but the agenda does not include motor maintenance. That's not what it's about.
We might be...
Motor maintenance is life, mate, whether you like it or not. It's A to B.
It's not going to get anywhere, are you?
might be leading...
Well,
You've got a problem
I've
with
not
me.
got a
Please,
problem.
we've got another 8 years. We don't want petty
problem with you at
squabbles.
all. No, I don't have. This is not a personal issue. It's not. You're personalising
You've been
it.
looking at me before.
I'm not looking at you in any way
You are.
whatsoever. I am not looking at you at all.
Bonnet!
Should we talk about the Berlin Wall?
The day today. Whoa, heck, it's a news bulb.
Today's historic agreement between Australia and Hong Kong marks a new season of hope for the future of world trade. The two countries, who have spent years at each other's throats on the international market, have now signed a treaty which allows trading between all parties at all levels on a restricted quota basis. I'm joined now by Martin Crace, the British Foreign Office Minister with special responsibility to the Commonwealth in London, and Gavin Hawtrey, the Australian Foreign Secretary in Canberra. Gentlemen, this is pretty historic stuff, isn't it? Well done. A future then of unbridled harmony, Australia?
I'd like to think so. I hope both countries will be reaping the benefits, both financially and amicably, for many years to come.
Mr. Crace, if, as in the past, Australia start to exceed their quotas, what would be your reaction?
I think one has to simply take a very firm line and say that, that's where it stops.
Yes, you're both standing firm. What are you using to back yourselves up?
The agreement.
The agreement and force. What kind of force are you going to back yourself up with, Hawtrey?
Well, any means of reasonable force possible. When I say reasonable force, I mean sitting down...
You're talking about weapons. He's talking about weapons, Mr. Crace, and you're sitting there in a rather flabby way saying we're not actually going to do anything about weapons.
I don't think Britain's ever been found wanting in circumstances such as these.
You're going to have to retaliate pretty strongly against that sort of accusation, I would have thought, in a more physical way.
Well, you mean an act of aggression?
I certainly do. I mean, he's sitting here accusing you of goodness knows what, and you're sitting there effectively saying, oh, we'll put a sanction forward and we'll stand by it. What are you going to stand by it with?
Well, sanctions will be the initial plan, and then we would move on to stronger means.
Such as?
Well, I would have to talk to certain members of the Cabinet.
About?
Military matters. And that's all.
We have spent a long time and had great cooperation over this, and now suddenly you're talking about imposing sanctions and talking to your seniors about military matters. This is quite outside the terms of any treaty that could possibly be made between two former members of the Commonwealth.
You didn't suggest any suggestion of any kind of diplomatic intervention. You suggested firm means.
I think you're interpreting
Mr. Hawtrey, let me give you a hint. Bang!
What are you suggesting?
You're plunging yourself into a...
What do you want me to say?
Into a...
You want me to say it?
The word.
The word? I'll say it. War.
War? Gentlemen, I'm going to have to hold you there on freeze for just a second. If a war did break out, then fighting would probably start in Eastmanstown on the Upper Cataracts in the Australia-Hong Kong border region. Our reporter Donald Bethlehem is there now. Donald, what's the atmosphere like?
Tension here is very high, Chris. The stretched twig of peace is at melting point. People here are literally bursting with war. This is very much a country that's going to blow up in its face.
Well, gentlemen, it seems you have little option now but to declare war immediately.
Well, clearly the time for semantics is now over. I can't, of course, be responsible for taking a decision like that. I have to refer to my superior, Chris Patton. As you know, he's in Hong Kong at the moment.
Good, because he's joining us now on the line from Hong Kong. Mr. Patton, do you agree with the idea of declaring a war? I'll take that as a yes.
It seems it's war.
Mr. Hawtrey?
War it is, then.
That's it, Chris. It's war. War has broken out. This is a war.
That's it. Yes, it's war. Coming up over the next 20 minutes, we'll be monitoring the progress of our own flotilla of smart bombs, foremost among these with a nose-mounted camera, Smart Bomb Stephen. On hand throughout tonight's broadcast, Douglas Hurd. And on the front in Eastmanstown itself, newshound Donald Bethlehem. And with over 130 satellite informometers, an even broader swerve of ground-based news operatives, and the worldwide backup from the Factgadelics, the Day Today will keep you far more firmly abreast of the war than anyone else by miles. First, the weather with Suzanne Charlton.
Basically, we've got very movable weather systems. Movable weather systems. We're all at it this morning.
It was 4 seconds, that one, as well.
Huge airs of clouds sweeping across the country.
It must be difficult to see with your head that far up your
that
arm.
means between them we get some clear skies, which is much situation across the
That's another one.
of England and Wales and Scotland.
She does one more, get her off.
Many areas,
Get her off.
a bright or even a sunny first thing this morning.
Sunny first thing, right,
Let's
that's it.
concentrate for time, though, on
Kill the
Scotland.
bitch.
Back now to Eastmanstown, our man on the ground there, Donald Bethlehem. Donald, what is the latest?
As I swilled the last traces of toothpaste from my mouth this morning, a soldier's head flew past the window, shouting the word victory.
Have you actually seen any of the fighting yourself, Donald?
Today I saw an old woman on the ground. She was lying in a pool of her own tomatoes.
Donald, there seems to be some action going on immediately behind you. Could you take yourself closer towards it, please?
Yes, Chris.
Righto, go in
here.
A bit further back, please, Donald.
I feel very near here.
Yes, but you're not near enough. Could you take yourself closer
Here?
still? No,
Surely.
I want you to be so close until you can smell the news.
I'm sorry, Chris. I think I've been shot. I am shot. I am shot.
Yes, well, could you describe your wound, please, Donald?
It's in the lower back above my leg. It hurts.
What about the level of pain? How much pain? How much pain can you feel?
Substantially. It feels like I've been shot with a big knife.
Now, it's customary for a journalist in your position to give us some sort of joke. What's yours?
It's quite ironic, Chris, because this morning I was sick.
Ironic.
Oh, God! Help!
Well, I'd just like to assure you that Donald Bethlehem is perfectly all right.
The Day Today. Come, give torch to the news shag.
Good evening. This is the Day Today live from the war. We've moved our operation into the battery zone. Progress on Smart Bomb Stephen, good. And we've already seen a lot of fighting on the ground here. Earlier on today, we had to slip the clutches of the local militia, which we did by fooling them into standing guard over models of ourselves made out of biros and notepads, and then smuggling our bodies out inside some hospital beds. This report on the day's fighting I made short moments ago.
There's something about the way these people move that tells you they are a nation at war. Look into their eyes and you can read the words, "I have a reservation at the restaurant of death." It's a messy bistro with a bad name for soiling its customers' clothes. We've seen only one napkin in 4 days. As course after course piles up in the banquet of brutality, it's difficult for many of the clients here to relax. Those that don't leave go as mad as a pack of wild dogs. This man we found this morning pitifully trying to catch bullets in his mouth.
They haven't turned up yet. We seem to be the only ones here.
With the air thick and rippling with bullets, everybody's nickname here is either Duck or Ah. I too now have a wound. Just a small part of the unnecessary damage which could have been avoided altogether if the politicians had got it right.
The people here are confused, spending most of their time running about like idiots. Earlier today we met a family who, thanks to this war, now have no home. A war which they feel anyway has nothing to do with them.
We are mere pawns in a political game, trapped in the physical manifestation of a nonsensical clash of mere ideals between two governments tragically isolated both from their electorates and the guts-on-your-shoes reality of armed struggle.
That boy is now a war orphan, one more victim of what they call here the desert confetti. I have a child about his age myself. When I phoned him 10 minutes ago, I told him to move out of the house to make room for his new brother.
Back now to the day-to-day Smart Bomb. Get rid of Herd. Thanks. How is it for Smart Bomb Stephen? Well, we can see now he's zooming in over the landscape. He's almost caressing the land there. This is a city full of people and soldiers. There's one. There he is. It's into his mouth, past the esophagus, down through the... Bang! Bang! Completely gone. No, we didn't hear the bang, of course, because the microphone is taken out in the heat of the explosion. But there, nonetheless, is one more tear on the face of the world's mother, Alan Sport.
Thanks, Chris. And now some late-night soccer results. I'm Alan Partridge. This is Division 2. Hull Paragraph 5, Portsmouth Bubblejet 1. Sheffield Hysterical 3, Chunky Norwich 1. Richmond Arithmetic versus Nottingham Marjorie match postponed due to bent pitch. Good night.
Still to come, Douglas Hurd, but not yet. Because as Britain is dragged hopping and burping into this conflict, how do our elected guardians justify the enormous cost? Some say the Minister for War has been avoiding the press for precisely this reason. But earlier on today, the Day-to-Day tracked him down, and I spoke to him in an exclusive way. Mr. Powley, you're the new Minister for War. Any idea how long it's going to last?
Well, I hope not very long. I'd say about 18 months, I hope. No more.
But nonetheless, you took the decision.
That's right. We had to take the decision.
Was anybody in Cabinet against it?
I should say yes.
Can you name names?
Not really.
I understand your position. Yeah. Looking at the tactics in the war, what tactics will you be adopting?
I would say go over and bomb them, because
really, with your hands over your ears?
Yeah.
So what's your scenario? You say 18 months, who's going to win?
I should say the British would win.
Can I put you on the spot and ask you to address the nation and tell them that we are going to win the war?
Definitely.
Can you say that to the nation through
Yes,
the
I
camera?
would. Yes. I'm assured the nation will win this war.
Minister, thank you.
I'm now in transit over Eastman's Town. Susanna Gekalois is already there.
This is the very heart of the conflict. The men here have been fighting non-stop for 3 days. We drove in at night, straight into the middle of a rocket battle.
The air now is thick with what they call here the electric cornflakes. We are under strict instructions not to leave the vehicle, but to drive on through.
With no cover, we ran across open space to a nearby house. There are always casualties in war. This man was injured and we had to act fast. We found a family sheltering in the back room. We had no tongue in common, but through the universal language of mutual need, I knew she was saying, "Come, set your equipment up in our refuge. The world must see this mess."
These brave people are now sleeping, but they know that tomorrow our aerials and transmitters could make this house a prime target. Chris.
Back to the war now, and in the noise and heat of what they call here the flying scissor beans, there is no optimism, or at least wasn't, until just 2 minutes ago when we received these pictures of a miracle from the front line less than a mile from where I'm standing.
This was the scented rose in the bum gut of Satan, for here at 7:13 precisely, the fighting stopped. Soldiers who moments earlier had been shooting each other's teeth out suddenly put down their guns and joined in peaceful commune. Some played games, or like these men, planned a musical. Others built cribs, carefully forged from scraps and weapons. It's Christmas here, though you wouldn't know it from the smell. The reason for this outburst of calm lay inside a shed, for here the massed forces of two world powers were unified by nothing more than the distress of a cat stuck on a high shelf. No one knows how it got there, but these brave fighting men, moved by the simplicity of the animal's plight, decided to forget their differences and try to get it down. It was a heartwarming scene in an otherwise ghastly place. But even as the men celebrated, their heads were blown clean off. For somebody, nobody knows who, had filled the cat with nitroglycerin.
Well, despite the odd story like that, it's quite clear even to the untrained eye that this war is peaked. There follows little now but the inevitable plague of refugee and human interest stories which tend to spew out in the wake of such conflicts. We'll leave a skeleton staff here to deal with that. I myself am back to London because I've had quite enough of this sickly guff. Mr. Hurd, thank you. This has been the Day-to-Day, on the ground, live, in a war.
The Day-to-Day. Aware of the powerful symmetry that exists between news and history.
And just time to look at some of tomorrow's newspapers. Drowned Italian wins Eurovision, that's today. The Mail go with Aristocrats' dung saves village from flood. The Mirror, Lord Mayor's pirouette in Fire Chief wife decapitation. The Sun, Robin Koch. And the New Zealand Prendergast lead with Russia elects Cobweb. You'll notice, incidentally, that the Wheeler cartoon in The Independent has "There will never be another war again," referring there to the Prime Minister's conference speech. And the Wheeler caption, "Yes, there will, and it's happening now." That's it. That's the day today, on the day that Boris Yeltsin told the world how he milked Mrs. Thatcher.
Flappy breasts.
Good night. The headlines tonight: bottomly refreshed after 3 days on cross, Branson's clockwork dog crosses Atlantic floor, and sacked chimney sweep pumps boss full of mayonnaise. Welcome. On the day-to-day tonight, David Owen emerges shattered from Oliver Reed.
I don't think I've ever seen anything quite such. So totally wanton, ghastly, mess, terrible.
And Portillo's wife defends crack habit.
It's cheap, very cheap.
Hello, you. Prince Charles has volunteered to put himself in prison in order to highlight the plight of Britain's jails.
The Prince made the announcement at some speech or other he was giving today. He said he wanted to set an example. The Prince has been preparing for his ordeal for the last 2 months by attending practice prison in a Rolls-Royce factory, sharing his cell with an old school friend. When he starts for real at Brixton next Tuesday, he'll be expected to muck in just like any other convict detained at his mother's pleasure, adopting the regulation haircut and activity programs. The Prince's choice, making a brush.
I am determined, as far as I'm concerned, to try at least. And in that sense, it will be my own small contribution towards a vision of Britain.
The American serial killer Chapman Baxter is to be executed tonight in the state prison in Tennessee in the manner of his own choosing. CBN's Barbara Wintergreen reports.
Tennessee State Penitentiary. For some, it's death row, but for convicted mass murderer Chapman Baxter, it's the last night at Heartbreak Hotel. Baxter's an Elvis fan, and tomorrow he dies like a king.
I always been a poor boy, never done nothing with my life, always taken from any community I've ever been in. I just figure I just want to die glorious. I just want to die like the king, like the only King Elvis Presley.
A special death bowl has been installed for this gruesome Presley demise.
He died on the toilet full of drugs and cheeseburgers. That's the way I'm going to go. I ain't going to no electric chair. I'm going to the electric toilet.
Like Presley, Baxter will gorge on cheeseburgers and drugs until he reaches 650 pounds. The historic weight will trigger the electric current and see Baxter skip dessert. Among those who'll be watching Baxter get all shook up is Tennessee Presley Fan Club President Alvin Holler.
Some people might say that this was debasing the memory of the king. Do you agree with that?
No, ma'am, no. The king did that himself by dying on John in a big nappy.
But a special cheeseburger line in grim Elvabilia has gone on sale to commemorate tomorrow's pan fry.
But maybe after today, that is how people will think of the king.
You could be right there.
Press and protesters conduct a silent vigil outside this special disgraceland, while inside, Baxter chooses his backing vocals.
I figured Jailhouse Rock be kind of appropriate. Maybe Are You Lonesome Tonight always moves me that song.
At dawn, all hope of a retrial gone down the pan, Baxter prepares to return to sender. In a few moments' time, America will watch the Presley stand-in eat a sit-down meal with a difference. And if he eats too much, he may come out in a hot flush.
Blue suede shoes.
So, as Baxter turns as blue as his suede shoes, this is very definitely one burger king with extra fries to go. Barbara Wingreen, CBN News at the Elvocution, Tennessee State Penitentiary.
Tomorrow sees the opening of the London Jam Festival, selling pots of jam, some made by celebrities, to raise money for the homeless. With me is one of the organisers, Janet Breen. Janet, thanks for joining us this evening. This must have taken a heck of a lot of organising.
Yes, well, it has, actually. To get all the celebrities to contribute their jam has really been quite an operation.
How much of your time did you put into it?
Oh, I would say at least 6 months.
6 months? To raise money for a jam festival? Isn't that rather stupid?
No, I don't think so. I mean, it's all in a good cause.
Well,
it's for the homeless.
Yeah, but how much are you going to raise?
Well, we hope to raise at least £1,500.
£1,500? That's a pathetic amount of money. You can raise more money by auctioning dogs.
Well, I don't think so. I think it's all in a good cause and very worthwhile and worth
You've
doing.
persuaded these celebrities to waste their time donating to it?
Yes.
Well, who?
Glenys Kinnock we've got, and Sebastian Coe.
I hate Sebastian Coe.
Well, I feel he's made a very worthwhile contribution,
What,
actually.
to the paltry sum of £1,500?
Yes.
Is that worth 6 months of your time?
Well, I think it is worth...
I don't think it is at all. I think the only reason you've done it is to make yourself look important. How dare you come on this programme and say, hey, look at me, I'm raising £1,500 for the homeless. You could raise more money by sitting outside a tube station with a hat on the ground, even if you were twice as ugly as you are, which is very ugly indeed. Has this been very upsetting for you? And have you anything else to say in your defence? Janet Breen, thank you.
Ultra News.
Now comments from you, the public, in Speak Your Brains. The law.
Tightening up the law, is it required today?
I think so, yes.
In what areas?
Certainly, we have to do something about drug peddling.
If they ran into the newly tightened up law, would it smack them up sharp, or would it catch them gradually?
I think it needs to smack them up sharp.
To jerk their head back?
Yeah. Oh, sure, certainly, yeah.
Let's see if we can nail this down. In terms of this elastic band here, would you like to see the law tightened up to this tightness, tightness number 1, tightness number 2, or tightness number 3?
I think tightness number 3.
Tightness number 3 like this?
Yeah, I think we've really got to hammer these guys.
So that tightness being an average post office band extended over about 8 inches?
Perhaps, yeah. Yeah, I think so.
Sport now with Alan Partridge. Alan, you're a keen fan of the law, aren't you?
I certainly am. I support the law fully. Not too keen on those that break it, though.
How do you support it, then?
Just generally support it.
What, generally turn up on a Saturday afternoon and wave from the touchlines?
This is Sports Desk. I'm Alan Partridge, and it's a special desk of sport now as we look back on some of the sporting highlights of the last sporting season. So lie down, relax, and let the sports commence. When it's cycling championships you're after, you can't say fairer than the Tour de France. Dive, Brandauer there in the lead, swaying from side to side in his own inimitable bike-riding way. Klaus Bin there on the inside, pumping away with those gristle-like muscly legs inside those tight lycra shorts, which have become his trademark. And I don't know what this man is playing at. There's no way. Surely the judges must come down like a ton of bricks on that. Carrying bikes on top of a car is not a sportsmanlike way to run this race. You join me in the helicopter now as we look down on these cyclists that look somehow like cattle in a mad way, but cattle on bikes. And there's Sven Gunsen, closely followed by his great friend and teammate Klaus Bin. And the man with the bikes on his car is, yes, he's disqualified, as I said. And Klaus Bin there wins, riding non-handed. No need for that. It was a belter of a season for athletics.
1,500 metres there, cram, and not a lot happening. Quite unremarkable. Oh, good, someone's fallen. It's Peter Elliott. Yes, he's down. Peter Elliott, no relation to the late Denham. And come on, Pete, back on your feet. You can catch up with them. No, he can't be bothered.
And it was upsets all the way in the dive championships.
Greg Lagani, down, double back twister, bangs his head in. Textbook, lovely. Let's see it again.
He boings down, up in the air, double back twister, comes down, bangs his head on the board and in. Lovely. The judges surely will give him high marks for that.
But for my money, the best punches were being pulled this season in the boxing ring.
As he's affectionately known to me. Thank goodness, actually, they're wearing gloves, because I've witnessed bare-knuckle boxing in a barn in Somerset about 3 years ago, and it was a sorry sight to see men goading them on in such a barbaric fashion, and I'm rather ashamed to say I was party to that goading. And 2 men fighting, as I saw in the barn that night, naked as the day they were born, and fighting the way God intended. Wrestling at points. I don't know if you've seen Women in Love, the marvellous scene by the fire. It kind of resembled that.
I'm Alan Partridge, and that was my sporting season. Why don't you join me for another one? Join me.
Thanks, Alan. Time now for our resident humorist, Brant, the physical cartoonist from the Daily Telegraph, to cast a wry eye at the week's events. And it certainly has been some week, hasn't it, Alan?
Yes.
And so, with that in mind, Mr. Brant, put us in the picture.
Thanks, Chris. Well, this week John Majors had to walk a bit of a political tightrope.
Sylvester Stewart has today's weather.
Starting in the southeast, where it'll be a misty day tomorrow with a droplet density of about 50,000 per spherical inch. That's roughly as if the mist were hugging the ground like an over-affectionate and rather damp dog. Over to East Anglia and the Midlands. It'll be a warm day tomorrow, about 20. That's the sort of warmth you might feel on a January morning walking into a heated drawing room after chopping some wood. And finally, into the north of England and Scotland. A strong and highly long-lasting day tomorrow, with hail aimed vertically downwards from above, and there'll be a 30% chance. The summary then, breezes. And that's all the weather.
The law. We're looking today at the letter of the law. Any problems?
Well, I've just been worried about what I've been watching on TV recently about all these fit-ups.
What about a poster campaign to promote the letter of the law?
Yeah, I think that'd be a good idea.
TV campaign?
Yeah, possibly, yeah.
How quickly would you like to see this sort of action taken? Poster campaign?
Immediately.
Immediately?
Yes.
So here we are in the immediately future, looking at a poster on the wall of the letter of the law.
Yeah.
Red on blue. What letter is it? What single letter? The letter of the law. What letter is it? No, what letter is it? What letter is it? The letter of the law.
J.
J, in red on blue.
Yeah.
Environation from me, Rosie May. Britain is soon to have its first portable cemetery. The cemetery, which opens to the size of a football pitch and features real soil, holds up to 1,000 corpses. The portable cemetery saves waste. Scientists in Alaska have found a gap between the horizon and the Earth. The gap, which is 9 miles across, is believed to have been caused by recent storms which tore the horizon from its moorings. A team of civil engineers has now set off to lash the horizon back down with steel. I'm Rosie May, and this is my planet.
Take a look at this.
This is St Barley's Church in Coventry.
That sequence will be featured in a full report on the Church of England, which is coming up now.
If you mention the Church of England to most people, they immediately think of the sacraments and the holy blood of our Lord Jesus Christ. But to many within the Church, there is another ritual, the ritual of the bullying ritual. Ex-curate Peter Litterton was intimidated by his very first vicar.
I went to the bathroom to wash after dinner, and I found my flannel in the toilet. Another time, I went into the bathroom and all the bristles, bar one, had been cut off from my toothbrush. Another time he put bleach in my shaving cream, and Mrs. Cape stifled a giggle.
I see. This is St Barley's Church in Coventry. Barley's vicar, Bobby Skye, is a former bully himself, but has now decided to speak out.
If a young deacon was being inordinated, then during the inordination ceremony, we would hum during his sermon, so we would be going, and he would be trying to speak and not knowing who was humming.
How many of you were humming?
About 200 of us, 200 vicars, all going,
But while some are brave enough to speak out, others are still quietly being beaten up. Here in the vestry of St Champs in Coventry, we secretly rigged up one of our cameras to record some bad ecclesiastical hurting.
I'm sorry, Bishop, I'll do it again. I'm sorry, Bishop, I'll do it again. Why are you always being such an arse?
Don't know, Bishop.
I don't know, Bishop, I don't know. It's fold it properly.
Yes, Bishop.
Yes, I was collecting up the hymn books, very well, these exact books.
Yes.
And I was stacking them, like so.
Yes.
And I'd stacked up to my chin.
I see.
So I was at really at full stretch with about 30 hymn books. And he said, "Come on, Peter, you can fit another one in there." I said, "No, I can't, Reverend Cape, I really can't." And he pushed one in. He said, "You can fit another one." I said, "I can't." And he pulled my hair right back. Yeah. And so my head was like this. I thought I was going to choke. And then he ran along this pew, like that, and threw the books. Pick them up! Pick them up!
You do look a rather foolish boy, Paul. Clean it up. I'll be back later.
The bullying has got to stop. Stop the bullying. Start taking care of your flock. Pick on someone your own size. God's bigger than all of us.
And since we've recorded that report, everybody featured in it has lost their hair.
The Day Today, slamming the wasps from the pure apple of truth.
The Home Secretary's new measures for dealing with neighbourhood noise have been introduced this week by Broxbourne Police, and it looks like they're working. Noisy people have been a problem in Broxbourne for years, but now if the police receive more than 5 complaints against a single household, they just turn up and release a tiger through the front door. So far, they say, the Home Secretary's new measures have been 100% successful. This weekend, BBC Two celebrates changing attitudes in the last 35 years of television in Attitudes Night.
Well, here we are at the hanging. It's a very sombre atmosphere. The condemned man has just arrived with the executioner, Mr. Albert Marsh, who's highly respected.
The evening begins with a chance to savour again Great Britain's last televised hanging.
He's using a nylon hemp mix rope tonight for the first time ever. That's what he wanted. That's what he's got. It's to guarantee extra strength.
All right, Mudge, what can I do you for, then?
The 60s saw television breaking taboos again and again, with Frampton Row, the first popular weekly serial, to use swear words.
I'm not made of money, especially not since Eddie Copsey and his blooming lids.
Oh, aye.
Go on, then, I'll have the express. There are you, big hairy cock.
Ta.
Ta-ra, Stan.
Ta-ra, you shitter.
These days, it's very fashionable among young people to do what I'm doing now. I'm being filleted by a young girl known as a groupie. It's an interesting feeling and certainly quite relaxing. Well, it's half an hour later. My initial reaction was one of intense joy, but that's now been replaced by a vague feeling of inadequacy and gloom. It's not an experience which I can see catching on, but neither is it one which I regret.
But while some programmes broke taboos, others, like Them Next Door, would in time become taboo themselves.
Next door again.
What's he want now, eh?
Mr. Eddie, I was wondering if I could be borrowing a cup of sugar for my lunch.
What'd he say?
He says he wants you to give him a punch.
Oh, all right.
Oh, you're misunderstanding me. I'm asking for sugar. That is why I'm here.
Oh, I can't understand a bleeding word he's saying.
He says he wants you to give him a thick ear.
Oh, right.
No.
The same went for Channel 4's Kiddie Stare, the show which featured naked 2-year-olds romping for the pleasure of adults.
Must say it's looking in excellent condition. And yes, the lights have gone out. There, it's a good clean drop.
there's the hanging. Well done, well done. They'll be pleased with that. And to play us out, we have Johnny Stoppard. Johnny, what are you going to play for us tonight?
Fancy Lady.
Fancy Lady. Well, fancy that. This is Corin Piper bidding you good night. Good night.
So join us for the start of the evening with The Hanging. That's Attitudes Night this Friday on BBC Two.
Coming up, more cathedral dumping in Leicester.
Well, there was two of them, two bishops, to come along and just dumped it here and legged off down the road.
And Manchester police powerless against new weapon menace.
Well, basically, one of these and one of these have a range of 50 feet and can bring down a helicopter.
Time now for business with Calately Sisters.
Thanks, Chris.
Take her off the monitor. I don't want to see her face.
And no let up today for British manufacturers. There were large profit slumps for Securivad and United HaHa, down 6.4, joining Collins Perhaps units on a lower third rung. There was better news for Edgeledge Wedgebudge, who mustered 2.41 up 88 very slightly, but Oxy McGee flew back a ninth, despite a creeping bid from Connected Breath Dumps at 4. On the currency markets, how did the pound fare? A quick glance at the currency CAD. Not too well, I'm afraid. There's a disconcerting 47-degree slope against the dollar, yen and Deutschmark. And if we project, in 4 months, the pound leg is effectively amputated, leading to a rogue leg with no hip constituency at all. Overall, then, for tomorrow's markets, good evening. Slightly fractious in the 9s and 7s. Chris.
Alternative medicine has been growing steadily in popularity over the last 7.5 years. The latest fad is sending thousands of patients scurrying to a medieval hospital in Dartmouth. Iggy Pop Barker reports.
Bile chanting. You won't have received this kind of treatment before unless you're 500 years old. The Sanctus Hospital in Dartmouth specialises in medieval healthcare and offers a range of historic remedies at 21st century prices.
There. This should really get rid of the melancholy, yeah? Sore a bit?
Physical complaints like the hardened lump on this woman's foot are treated as symptoms of spiritual disorder.
I'm going to make an incision here.
Yes.
And make the incision all the way round here,
Yes.
and the other side,
Yes.
and then cut through, and then remove this,
Yes.
this foot,
Right.
remove
Right.
that,
Yes.
and take it away,
Yes.
and bury it with some gooseberries.
We've done the tests and
This woman is a witch and is being talked through the drowning procedure.
What we'll be doing is we'll be pushing you in the pool.
I see.
If you sink to the bottom, you're clear.
Uh-huh.
If you float to the top, obviously we're going to have to attach some weights to you and drown you.
You mean you want me to
just walk down?
To walk down the stairs.
Yeah, and I'll give you a bit of a shove.
All right. Oh my goodness. That's right.
Dr. Philip Johansson is Europe's leading practitioner of bile chanting. He was one of the 4 doctors and 10 patients killed in this morning's blaze. Firemen say the chances of finding anyone else alive is minimal.
Real events shot by chance on amateur cameras are increasingly putting professional news crews out of business. Remedy Malahide reports.
A common studio accident, a man being electrocuted in the face by a loose cable. But what made the accident uncommon is that it was caught on one of these, a home camcorder. Hello, I'm Remedy Malahide, and tonight I'll be showing you just a cupful of the many thousands of unattractive events poured onto a lens by you, the public, in Genutainment. First, these remarkable scenes of an audacious bank robbery were captured by Mrs. Susan Briers, who owns the security cameras at the Norwood branch of NatWest. The real capturing happened soon after. Our reality iFest continues courtesy of St John's Ambulance Unit, who filmed this disturbing spectacle of a distressed caterer who had her finger trapped under the page of a book. Photo factuality now, and Mrs Mandy Hell captured these snaps while out walking her brother on Wandsworth Common. The unnamed woman had been pierced by a shaft of frozen urine which had fallen from the toilet facility of an overhead plane.
And finally, Mr. Peter Dexy of Lancaster sent us amusing footage of a baseball attack outside his home. If you listen carefully, you can hear that Mr. Dexy's living room cuckoo clock happened to strike in time to each smash of the bat. But on now to our main visual splash, real-life tales of danger and rescue, which, thanks to this little child, it's a camcorder, we can actually show you each week on It's Your Blood. Every week on It's Your Blood, we feature an actual bad accident and show how you can avoid a similar fate. This week, Chopper of Doom.
Helicopters, machines with blades for cutting air. Air that's soft and easy to slice, like human beings. If a helicopter hits the ground at 100 miles an hour, it can be rebuilt. But for a man made of crushable bone and ligaments that tear, it's not quite so easy. In recreating the horrific events of the 12th of December 1992, we persuaded the original victims to face that ordeal again. We also use amateur video footage of the nightmare. All bodily fluids shown are the ones which actually emerged at the time. For this reason and many others, you may find the following sequence produces a very powerful sensation in your brain and body.
Farmer Chester Johnson uses a chopper for crop surveillance and he flies it himself. It's 10 o'clock on the birthday of his sheepdog Lindsay, and Chester has planned him a treat.
It was a ride in the helicopter. I knew he'd like it, so I decided to video it for him as a memento.
What he didn't know was that he and Lindsay were about to make a flight neither of them would ever forget, even if their brains were erased with mind rubbers. At first, everything was normal. They were up and enjoying the ride.
It was smooth and exhilarating, like an aerial motorbike.
But then Chester decided to look at his watch. A watch we later found to have a dangerous design. The aircraft was now perilously out of control, and to make matters worse, it was heading straight towards a field of children looking for worms. By sheer luck, a member of the public, Mrs. Maureen Tucker, had noticed the helicopter and started shooting these valuable pictures with her own camera. After 10 minutes, she called for help.
Hello, Control Tower. Oh no, it's one of our helicopters out of control.
Wonder who that can be.
It could be Chester Johnson, and that's got a dog on board. We better call a shepherd then.
The steel vulture of Beelzebub was now just seconds away from the children's soft heads.
The airfield, move the stick slightly.
Wait a minute, wait a minute. Steady. Come by.
You're doing well.
Come by.
By sheer brilliance, the shepherd dog team also managed to avoid an old woman up a stick in a nearby field. While the heroes celebrated, the shepherd's unattended flock caused a pile-up on the M5 in which 430 people were injured. Mercifully, the ordeal forged such firm bonds between the victims that it led in many cases to marriage.
If this happened to you, would you know what to do? Your chances would be improved considerably if you made sure someone on the ground had one of these. It's a pocket shepherd. It costs just £59, a small price to pay for the gift of a functioning body that works properly.
News Jiffy.
Just time to have a quick look at tomorrow's headlines. Aristocrat's dung saves village from flood. That's in the Mail. Today, drowned Italian wins Eurovision. The Express go with Lord Mayor's pirouette in fire chief wife decapitation. Grisly but gripping. The Sun, Robin Koch. And the Daily Star, feel my nose and put my specs there, Raw's drunken major. That's it. That's the day today, on the day that Boris Yeltsin told the world how he milked Mrs. Thatcher.
For flabby breasts.
Good night. The headlines tonight: Portillo's teeth removed to boost pound, exploded cardinal preaches sermon from fish tank, and where now for man raised by puffins. Yes. On the day-to-day tonight, woman describes her parents' kidnap hell.
She told me that a very heavy officer sat on her back, others sat on her legs. She was then handcuffed and broad sellotape was taped around her ankles so that she couldn't walk.
And new Welsh minister in incomprehensible energy outburst.
The main benefit of our emotion is because it is competitive. It permits the production of electricity cheaper, competitive, and then enhance the competitiveness of British industry.
Good evening. The junior Minister for Health, Mr. Douglas Wenbys, resigned today following revelations of irregular accounting and racist dances at his home constituency of Tray. Reporting from Westminster, Helwyn Ballard reports.
Mr. Wenby's resignation could spell trouble for John Major's government, trouble it could well do without. I'm joined now by our political correspondent, Colin Hay. Colin, a bad day for the government?
What an ageing patient called Mr. Major's government needed today was a shot in the arm. What it actually received was a bullet in the throat. I'm joined now by the Tory chairman for resignation issues, Mr. Austin Straker. Mr. Straker, a bad day for the government?
The media always overblows these things, Colin. Mr. Wenby's acted entirely with honour.
Minister, thank you. Helwyn?
Colin, Chris.
Helwyn.
Chris.
Helwyn. Mr. Wenby's week of hell ended at 11:30 this morning when his resignation was accepted by the Prime Minister. He then walked out of his office for the last time and left Westminster by car to meet family and constituents at his house in Gloucestershire, where he hopes to spend more time cultivating his hobbies. He is a keen cook and is also fond of collecting stamps. Sylvester Stewart has today's weather.
Starting in the southeast, Devon and Cornwall should have some fairly heavy and prolonged showers, a bit like jagged metal piercing old flesh. Over the Midlands now, it'll be warm at first but turning cocky later, around 12, and there should be some cloud around in the shape of a whore. In Scotland, loud thunderstorms in the evening, but the sun should come through later, so it'll be a bit like being woken up in the night by strange men shining powerful torches in your eyes. In summary then, dispassionate. And that's all the weather.
Alan Partridge is at Marple for today's horse races. I wonder what he's doing at the moment. Alan?
Hi, Chris. I'm Alan Partridge. Horses. Love them or hate them, from Mr. Ed to Silver, that's the Lone Ranger's horse. They're all here mingling with officials. Don't do that, please. It's the 6:13 Queen Henry Stakes, which is generally regarded as the litmus test for Derby form. Jockey folklore says that if you cock up the Queen Henry, you might as well ride the Derby on a cow, which of course be a complete waste of time. Let's have a look at the betting. The going today, of course, Moist to Tricky. The betting, Diabetic Charlie at 3-1 favourite, two-headed Sex Beast at 4-1, and at 20-1, Mrs. Boothroyd's Holiday Dancer. All the rest, 50-1 bar. That's all for now. Join us later for the race. Back to you, Chris, in the studio.
Alan, have you got a tip for us?
I did have a tip, but I was going to tip New Year's Lad, but his horse box was hit by a Volvo on the M3. Terrible mess. Apparently he's dead. So, bad luck there. Back to you, Chris. Stop it.
That's an amazing coincidence, Alan, because last week, Collaterally's sisters, you were involved in a car crash in which you were the only survivor. Only because you landed in somebody's stomach.
And it was a rather cowy night for the pound. It stood at 3.79 against the German Bordello. That's up 0.5 against the Portuguese Starling and down 100 against the Bitch. Earlier, there was confusion in the markets when France and Spain swapped their currencies and trading remained succulent for the rest of the day. Thanks, Chris. Here at home, from tomorrow, the new Bank of England £5 note comes into circulation. The notes, which feature the head of Iggy Pop, can only be used once.
Thanks, Collaterally. Coming up, Bosnian old woman, controversy over new police shirts.
It's blatantly too small. I mean, that wouldn't fit my daughter.
And your opinions in Speak Your Brains.
Firing public servants, do you approve?
I agree.
In all circumstances?
Yes, yes.
So once they made a mistake...
No, give them more than, give them one chance.
And then fire them?
Again, definitely, yeah.
Heavily?
Heavily, yes. Yeah.
And who would you fire them at?
They're governors. People above them.
So they've made a mistake, you line them up, fire them with their governors?
Definitely, yeah.
Hello again. The 6:30 delayed due to a collapsed paddock. They're just sorting that out. Men and women here wandering around like ants on an anthill. Good to see Platitude Queen, a renowned horse, well known for its sense of humour. Look at that wiggle. Marvellous. I don't know what that is. Two to look out for. Number one there, Zainab Adawi's 20 Hotels, and number three, two-headed sex beast. It's great to see the deaf catered for by these real characters in anoraks. Couple of youngsters there fooling around. Let's hope that that tomfoolery doesn't escalate into blind, ugly violence, which, let's face it, none of us want to see. Two fat ladies, 88. Old bingo expression there. Although these ladies, I'm very sure, are not the kind of ladies who you'd find at the bingo hall. They're altogether a better class of fat lady. Look at that lovely girl there, chomping on a sandwich. Oh. I'm sure what that is. Hope it's, hope it's not a dead horse. They're not going to fit it in the back of a Volvo 340. Actually, I hope it isn't a dead horse. Sorry.
The day today. Bagpiping fact into news.
The American actor Marlon Brando has been sold today in an auction at Sotheby's. Brando, who starred in films like Apocalypse Now and Superman, was part of a sale of international works of art which attracted interest from all over the world. He was sold in the large wooden chair he has occupied for the last 3 years to the Vatican at just under the expected price of $2.25 million. It's believed he will be installed in St. Peter's later next month.
Dentists. Time was when dental care was free, but now costs are forcing people with sick mouths onto the streets. Last night I went with a team to there.
Soaring costs have forced dentists to use telephone boxes as reception areas and the back streets as their chair.
It's daylight here and the streets look quite normal, but when the night draws in like a great dark thing, this whole area becomes the stalking ground for scores of dentists.
Up to 150 practitioners can operate under this bridge in any one night. We saw 7 of them, all after one mouth.
Got wisdom in the back.
Right, I'll turn around, just pretend you're yawning, all right? Just open your mouth. Okay. Yeah, right, you need that out. Probably a molar need doing as well.
Hi, do you need any dental work done at all? Any fillings, hygiene, root canals? Yeah, 25 quid. Done.
For the past 3 years, Hamble has worked alone, without equipment or basic surfaces.
I used to do wet polish with my tongue. And I used to blow on their faces to keep them cool, because there was no anaesthetic.
Without anaesthetic, it must have been hard to stop people screaming. How did you do that?
I used to hold their throats with my hand.
Can you show me?
What? On you? And I used to press their windpipe like that.
Nighttime with the police's undercover social unit.
Kid to play with one of these, they get big ideas. They see a swab, they think, oh, that's pretty cool. They want to be Clint Eastwood. Oh, here we go, our old friend Mr. Drill.
Now that doesn't look like a dental drill.
No, it's not. There's 2 drills here. They're both masonry drills.
And can you be sure that that was used for dental treatment?
Yeah, there's traces of enamel here.
Oi! A backstreet dentist and his client. We chased and filmed at the same time. The dentist managed to escape on a nearby yacht, but the dentee was less fortunate.
Look at that.
Can I ask you how you feel?
Oh, slightly disorientated, obviously. OK. What's wrong with the NHS?
I had to wait 3 weeks for an appointment.
He's made a pig's ear of your face, you know that.
You just slit it. I've used an illegal dentist. I hardly think it's what's a criminal offence.
Well, it is a criminal offence.
No, it's not.
It is.
Yeah.
Oh. The next night, our dentist was back at work. Proof, if proof be need be, that it's going to take more than a big syringe to cure Britain's mouth.
The day-to-day, aware that while the world looks round, it is in fact a cube. And from this, we know that fact times importance equals news.
Coming up, controversy over new police shirts.
Yes, obviously we are ready to comply with whatever changes are made if they're for the better, but this clearly is not going to work.
But first, Alan Partridge for the delayed 6:30 at Marple. Alan, either you've just had a fight with a fire engine or it's raining its arse off out there.
Hi, Chris. No racing as of yet. As you can see, 1 or 2 problems with the weather. It's really quite wet here. Really is quite wet. It was horrible. Really awful. Back to you in the studio.
Your complaints.
Hello, peasant.
How'd you do?
Would you care to read out this complaint which you have just written?
I shall indeed.
Grasp the candle.
Sorry?
And bang on.
And bang on. I would like to complain about the entirely slack monitoring of the shape of broadcasters' mouths. As a recruitment officer, I know it is a simple matter when appointing staff to filter out those with unusual or disgusting mouths at the interview stage. Yet our screens are plagued with the likes of Gavin Esler, whose mouth is not only so ill-governed, it looks like it's trying to escape from his face, but is grotesquely lopsided. A balanced view from that? In a chimp's cock. Surely the time has come for the BBC to face up to this demoralising assault and sack anyone whose mouth does not conform to reasonable standard. Perhaps mine. Point at mouth. Regular, neat, and I've had the stretch marks dealt with. Do it or I'll ram you up your own fudge tunnels. Thank you.
You ask anyone in the street what they think of Britain's public buildings, and they'll probably look at you and say, well, they're a lot of old rubbish. That's why the Day-to-Day has commissioned a special fly-on-the-wall documentary series about every single one of them, starting this week with St Lamb's Pool in Acton.
Hi. Can we have 2, please? 1 adult and a child. How much is that?
85.
85. Thanks. No, it's not for the phones. I mean, it's just for the pool. Just 2 for the pool. Well, I don't think I've got the exact money. I mean, it's only, you know, just keep the change. It doesn't matter.
Keep the change.
Well, I mean, I haven't got the exact money, but you know, I mean, it's only £1.
Well, I can't. I don't have the authority to just give you 25 pence.
Just keep it. I'm not asking.
No, I can't give you the change. I'm sorry.
Look, just give me 2 tickets, please.
Well, if you want to keep £1, I'll keep it, but I can't let you in the pool.
Line up along here, please.
Michael, put it down, no ducking. Stephanie! Stephanie! Leave her hair alone, I've told... Right, all down this end. All down... Right, free swim. Free swim.
One swimming. Swimming.
So I don't know what you want.
Alors, moi je comprends pas là, je parle pas très bien anglais. Swimming, I go la natation.
You go what?
No, not the flock. No, they're not for us. Not the flock. No. Put them back.
Excuse me, I wonder if you could help me. I've just been for a swim and I just found I've lost my locker key, the ring thing. Have you got a spare I could use?
No, we don't give out spares.
It's 207, is my locker number.
Well, doesn't matter what number it is, you better go and look for it.
I haven't got a master or something.
I can't give you a master key. I can't give you a master key, but it'll be in the bottom of the pool. Go and look for it.
I'm in a bit of a hurry. I've got to get it back to the office, so if you could just give me a master key.
I haven't got the authority to give you a master key because we need a £10 deposit.
Look, I'll give you a £10 deposit. My money is in the locker with my clothes.
Sorry, I can't help you.
Give me a key!
I don't have the authority to give
Give
you a
me a key!
You better get off to your office.
The Day Today. Game warden to the event's rhino.
Coming up later will be microtometer candy hell, but first a look at programmes later tonight on BBC Two.
And at 10:10, it's question time, live from Wembley Stadium.
Let's hear from the questioner, Zoe David Grant.
That's question time tonight at 10:10 on the panel Virginia Bottomley, Tony Banks, Sir William Rees-Mogg and Nick Kershaw. And then at 11:15, it's the Day Today special. This week, Cam Fam, and it's the whole family of Lincoln who've agreed to have cameras implanted into their faces to give us a unique view of British family life.
Oscar, what is the golden rule? Hello, what is the golden rule? Yes, you do know what the golden rule is. The golden rule is don't touch Daddy's car. Turn it off.
Mum said I could.
What do you mean, Mum said you could? Mum said you could play in the car. Mum wouldn't have told you you could play with the car.
What's going on?
Did you tell him he could touch the car?
No, I didn't. What are you doing in Daddy's
She
car?
didn't, you little liar, you little liar.
Roy, just calm down.
Don't come. I am calm. Don't rock. Get out of the car. Get out of the car.
Roy, stop it.
And after that, a day-to-day information special from Connor Hamill.
Hey, you! Look at me. I'm driving my sports car, going at 50, 60, 70. The wind's in my hair. 80. Oh, look, there's a bend. Who cares? 90. Get out of my way, you squares. I'm doing 100, because it's cool. It's cool to drive fast. Of course it's cool. Just one question. Is this cool? 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 Is that cool? All these people, are they cool? Is this cool? This guy. Cool, is he? This guy. Is he cool?
No.
This woman. Is she cool? So what about me? Do I look cool? Well, do I? Do I look cool? Do I really look cool? Do I? Do I? Do I?
Yes or no? Find out tonight on BBC Two. Coming up, 500 more uncles laid off in Derbyshire.
My nieces and nephews just called me into the lounge this morning and said, sorry, but I'm going to have to let you go.
And controversy over new police shirts.
We've been issued with these new shirts, and I and many of my fellow officers feel they're just too small.
A week of foul-tempered debate in Europe ended this afternoon as finance ministers agreed new quota rates for trade with the United States. In Brussels is our economics correspondent, Peter O'Hanrahan. Peter, what is the new rate?
It's 30%, Chris. Agreement was a long time coming, but in the end, the decision was unanimous.
What was the Germans' reaction? Because they've been holding out for 40%, haven't they?
That's right. When I spoke to Finance Minister Reinhardt earlier today, he said he didn't like the deal, but he had to go along with it.
Really? You spoke to him yourself? You managed to pin him down? He's a pretty tricky man, isn't he?
That's right.
Where did you get hold of him?
He was in the hotel.
And you conducted a conversation with him about the quota rates?
That's right. He said he didn't like it, but he had to go along with it.
What language did you conduct this conversation in, Peter?
German.
You spoke to him about the technicalities of the deal in German?
Yes.
So what's the German for 30%?
30%.
30%.
Yes.
And what about that quote you attributed to him? I don't like it, but I'll have to go along with it.
That's what he said.
How did he say it?
I don't like it, but I'll have to go along with it.
In German, how did he say it?
Ich nichten lichten.
Presumably you mean, rufen Sie ein Taxi bitte, sonst verpasse ich meinen Flug.
Yes.
No, you don't, Peter, because that means get me a taxi, I'm late for my plane. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. Did you speak to the German finance minister about the new deal this afternoon?
No.
And what was his reaction?
I don't know.
Peter, thank you.
Environmation from me, Rosie May. The vast arm protruding from the South Pole is continuing to grow. All fingers of the hand have now fully emerged, along with sections of the wrist. An international conference will be held in the spring to discuss the arm, now over a mile in height. Another pasta slick has washed up in Devon, threatening seagulls, terns and starfish. These birds were among over 1,000 found drenched in linguini on a beach near Exmouth today. Several basking sharks are also believed to have become clogged up. I'm Rosie May and I'm sitting on your sphere.
Back to today's races. Alan Partridge is at the...
This is better, let him lie in it. Let him lie in it. I'm Alan Partridge here at Marple with me. Just a quick look at the betting. Onion Terror, 2-1 favourite, 7-4 massive bereavement, and 100-30, trust me, I'm a stomach. All the rest 3-1 bar. The 6:30 has a 50-minute delay due to a fist fight near the paddocks between two officials, one of them now hospitalised. But I'm pleased to say I have with me the winner of the last race. Come here, Mickey Doolan. Hello, how are you?
I'm very well.
Are you now? Now, how do you feel about the race there? You won that race, the last race. How do you feel about that?
Well, very pleased to have won the race. It was a hard race, won it by a nose at the end, you know, so
and your mum and dad must be pleased. Now, what do they think of you doing this? Shouldn't you be at school? Do they not think you're sort of missing out on schoolwork?
Well, I think I'll be a little bit old for that now. I'm 33 years of age,
what?
You know. That's right, I'm 33 years of age.
You're 33?
That's right, yeah.
Well, I thought you look about 14.
Well, I'll take that as a compliment, you know.
Are you really 33 years old?
43 years of age, that's right.
Oh my God. Well, all the others, are they sort of 30, are they not children?
Well, age varies from about, 18 to 42 or maybe a bit older.
But you're so small.
Well, that's the idea, you know. I mean, if I was any bigger, if it was your size, then I wouldn't have won a race today.
Right, that's why you never see people like Brian Blessed riding horses. No, it makes sense. Right, well, thanks very much for talking to us, Mickey Doolan. Mickey Doolan here at Marple. Ah, raining.
News Felch.
Music news now from satellite channel Rock TV.
Rock TV. Watched the world over by superstars like Elton John, Noel Edmonds and Mick Hucknall.
Hi, I'm Harfin Tewport.
Wow, it's Harfin Tewport.
And coming up soon is the more, but first, Rock TV News brought to you by Lasterplast, the Faster Plaster.
News.
The work of He's a Singer Bob Dylan is to be reappraised following the discovery of a film which shows several of his songs, including the classic Subterranean Homesick Blues, being sung as long ago as 1947 by the singer-songwriter George Formby.
Oh, look out, kid, you're gonna get hit. Belush's cheaters, 6-time users, hanging around the feeders, billed by the wolf fools, looking for a new fool. Don't follow leaders, so watch your pocket meters. Hey!
Dylan, who is in hospital after eating a rotten wolf, has so far been unavailable for comment.
Hello, Ian Curtis here. I watch Rock TV every day.
That's the news where it's gone. Time now for Suki Babswent with her special brand of things.
What ho, I'm Suki Babswent.
Uh-oh. Now go wow for the latest sounds from the Vanner. They've been commissioned to do the music behind the new Panty Smile sanitary products campaign. Okay, boys, hit me with those ultra pants.
Once a month, you'll become a slave to a tidal wave. Yeah, body's little clock could mess up your frog, but Panty Smiles a lovely thing. It absorbs everything. You can wear them in the high screens, body contours, very discreet, and the comfort you won't believe, 'cause the top sheet is a dry weave. Yeah, Panty Smile, Panty Smile, Panty Smile, Panty Smile.
Panty Smile, a comfy pal who says never mind.
Hi, I'm Sinead O'Connor, and I watch Rock TV.
American rapping now, and this American rapper F.U.K.D is in trouble over his new song, Uzi Lover. During the stage version of the song in the live show, he kills 5 people on the stage during the stage show, live as it's performed.
Bitch, mother. Uzi Lover. She's an Uzi Lover.
I set them on fire with petroleum, and then after about half a minute, put a gun in each one's face and pull a trigger.
The whole controversy is preposterous. His killing is obviously ironic.
Uzi like a metal dick in my head. Magazine like a big testicle gland. Bitch wanna try it? I said keep it quiet. Shove it up a motherfucker's ass and fry it.
You gotta kill people to have respect for people.
I did the bitchin', and she lay twitching. I know that she's an Uzi Lover.
You gotta kill some people anyway. You can't kill everybody, because you wouldn't have anybody left to respect if you did.
He was grateful I shot his people. Motherfucking pig was an Uzi.
When he goes to England later this month, one of the people F.U.K.D will be doing the killing to is Radio 1 disc jockey Mark Goodyear.
Bitch bang, oh mother, bitch bang, oh bitch, mother,
bitch.
And just time for a quick look at tomorrow's headlines. Arafat ablaze in kerosene oyster hell, that's in the Telegraph. Today, go with Peter Collins is not a man. The Catholic Herald, eating turkey at Christmas is like nailing an egg to the cross, says Bishop. And the New Zealand Prendergast, Russia elects Cobweb. That's it. That's the Day Today. On the day today asks the question, are these the real Birmingham bombers? Good night. The heads tonight. Teenage boy roasts himself in sacrifice to Chris Kelly. Heseltine fading fast. And headmaster suspended for using big-faced child as satellite dish. This is the news. This is the news. Coming up, Why can't I be king, bleats Patton.
What is unreasonable about that proposal?
And Mad Lord says it's not too late for Freddie Mercury.
I'd recommend she went to her local benefits agency office, sought advice there, and I'm sure she'd find that as likely as not, by getting hold of family credit, she might find herself considerably better off.
News. London Transport say they may have to close the underground system due to an infestation of horses. A report described the conditions in the equine plague as like an abattoir in a power cut. Ted Moore reports.
For years, the system of tunnels and shafts has harboured a small population of wild horses without bothering the commuters. The only pest control necessary was performed by the teams of fluffers, who to this day remove clots of hair from the tracks.
See the hair?
Then in 1970 came the crackers, special staff who had to patrol the darkened tunnels every day and kill the horses with hammers. But now, say officials, the horses have become a menace.
Due to a large pile of horses blocking the line at Marble Arch, all services have been cancelled.
Many of the drivers are heavily traumatised. Only one today could describe the conditions.
Loads of horses, at least 30, I'd say. As a train approaches, they start running away from the train. Stampede in the opposite direction, like.
And what the drivers say they fear most of all is a head-on collision with a blind tube mare.
Well, it's instant death. It comes straight through the cab window, crushes you to death. Personally, I think the management should round them up. Get rid of them.
And in a statement issued just 10 minutes ago, the Home Secretary announced that he personally will be going into the tunnels this weekend, armed with a special gun.
The Day Today. News from telly to belly.
Now from the day-to-day travel tower, a mile above the centre of Great Britain, here's Valerie Sinatra. Valerie, how's it all looking? Nice?
Well, a bucket load of mixed blessings for you down on the ground, Chris. Let's take a look, first of all, at the M18. That's starting to clear now after that quiet stretch of the A49 was brought down from Stirling earlier on, so that's very good news. The M11, on the other hand, is still very busy indeed. It's nose to tail, coaches, cars, pedestrians. And in fact, if you take a close look, you might just be able to make out a piece of pie down there on the road. That's not going to be helping anyone at all. You'll have heard earlier on the news about the motorway pile-up this afternoon. The M6, the M58, the M61 and the M56 all collided, so safer to avoid that altogether. Good news, however, on the A12. Those earlier congestions have now cleared, so you should have no problems at all if you want to go there and bathe a child. Finally, a warning to speeding motorists. Police marksmen have now been stationed on all major roads in and out of London. That means anybody caught speeding can be shot in the chin, so best to avoid that too. Back to you, Chris.
Thanks, Riley. That was great.
Thanks a lot. Take care. See you soon.
Take care too, right? See you tomorrow?
I will. I hope so, yeah.
Okay.
Take care. Ciao, Chris. Bye.
Bye. The BBC has confirmed that it's ditching the 9 o'clock news in favour of a new soap opera called The Bureau. It's set in a 24-hour bureau de change. It started just 12 seconds ago on BBC One, so let's dip into it and see what all the fuss is about.
Hi, Alex.
Oh, hi, Maria. Didn't see you there. I just popped in to see how you were.
Don't want to talk about it now. We'll discuss it later.
Yeah, well, that suits me just fine.
It's a nice colour you've got in your hair, Ange. What is it? Chili hot pepper?
No, just a bit of henna. You got a problem?
No. You bloody cow! Filthy! Keep your hands off him! Always running
Oi! What's going on here? This is supposed to be a high-class bureau de change. Not some two-bit Punch and Judy show down on the seafront at Margate.
It's all right, Mr. Hennity. It's okay now. Just a little misunderstanding.
Shut it!
Why?
Because
I'm gay? Is that it? Go on. Say it.
You're on borrowed time, sunshine. And as for you, you can pack your bags. You're out!
Alan, sport.
Thanks, Chris. Well, it was a very amusing incident on the golf
Sorry,
course
Alan,
today.
I'm going to have to interrupt you there. We've just heard news of a dramatic incident. The Queen and John Major have had a fight. It's believed to have happened during the Prime Minister's weekly meeting at Buckingham Palace. On the big screen now is our correspondent, Jennifer Gumpertz.
The Prime Minister's weekly meeting normally lasts an hour, but today he was seen to leave hurriedly after just 17 minutes. It's clear that a strong disagreement took place, a disagreement which may have involved physical violence. Some palace staff said they heard loud swearing voices and the sound of bodies falling against furniture. One said he saw Mr Major emerge with a red mark across his face and bleeding legs. Seconds after the Prime Minister's departure, the Queen's doctor arrived at speed and ran inside. Neither the Palace nor Downing Street have issued an official statement so far.
And a few moments ago, we received this amateur video footage which seems to show that the Queen and John Major were involved in some kind of drubbing incident. And as a result of that broadcast, the crisis has deepened dramatically. I'm joined by our crisis correspondent, Spartacus Mills. Spartacus, this is huge history happening, isn't it?
It's bigger than that, Chris. It's large. I mean, if you've got a history book at home, take it out, throw it in the bin. It's worthless. The history books now will have to be rewritten.
What will they say?
They'll quite simply say, John Major punched the Queen. Everything else will be a footnote.
A push for time. Can you sum it up in a word?
No.
A sound? Spartacus, thank you. Alan, sport.
Thanks, Chris. Well, as I said, it really was...
Shut it, Alan. I want you to stop. All programmes have now been suspended on all channels to allow the broadcast of this film held in reserve for times of crisis.
Britain is a nation built on the very scowling face of adversity. Its dauntless spirit unbowed by any crisis. This is Britain at its best. This is Britain, and in this glittering sea, this perfect fusion of man and mineral, we know that conflict will always perish in the brotherhood of flags. This is Britain, and everything's all right. Everything's all right. It's okay. It's fine.
During that film, we've been watching number 10. There isn't much going on there at the moment, but both sides have now agreed a solution to the crisis, which will involve the Queen processing to number 10 and returning several punches to Mr Major's face. That won't happen for a while now, so let's take the business. Collaterally sisters, how many number 10s are there in your report?
Thanks, Chris. There was a big smell of fear in the city today when leisure conglomerate Bottington Fiasco fell 10%,
There's one.
leaving the cup open for a hammer bid from Silica Fist Fruit at 12. There were no dollars today. I'm Collaterally Sisters. On to the money markets. Quick look at the currency kidney. There's a lot of pressure there on the Bundeswessel, leading to a slight inflammation in the exchange tract, causing a negative flow of waste pounds across all international membranes. So in summary then, seven's a bit younger. Chris.
Later tonight on BBC Two, another probing interview in the dentist's chair. This week's guest is Richard Branson.
That's nice and wide, lovely. You know, you're in the public eye quite a lot, but at home, what are you, private? Or would you prefer being a public person?
Oh,
Yeah? Yeah? Well, Richard Branson, thanks very much for coming in the dentist's chair. I'll just clean you up now, okay?
And then at 8:30, John Fashionable, John Fashionable, John Fashionable, John Fashionable, John Fashionable, John Fashionable.
That's John Fashanu tonight on BBC Two.
Coming up, the Queen marches on Downing Street. There she is in a cart, and whatever next in the bureau. The soap opera that's got them all in a lather.
Ange!
Pills! Someone call an ambulance.
Don't bother. She's dead.
There's a note for you. It's Hennety's fault. Look, I never thought I'd say this, right, but pull down the blinds. I'm closing the bureau for an hour.
A large build-up of air traffic over London has tonight jammed solid in the sky. Thousands of aircraft have ground to a halt in mid-air and may soon start falling like massive buses.
The air jam started around 2 o'clock this afternoon, bringing chaos to Heathrow and Gatwick, both airports, today. In an air jam, there's a 3D gridlock in the air and no way out. The planes just slow down and stop. It's been known for years that air jam could happen, but no emergency measures were ever made. The last-minute efforts of Transport Secretary John McGregor this afternoon did little to help.
Is he always breaking things?
The irony is that while these people lie around like the dead, those in the air will actually die and end up like the ratatouille these people ate at the canteens, which are responding to strong demand at the moment here.
Time now for our resident humorist Brant, the physical cartoonist from the Daily Telegraph, to roast the hell out of everybody with his pomposity pistol. Mr. Brant, do something that'll make them, and I mean any politician watching this, feel really ashamed.
Thanks, Chris. This week, Bill Clinton has shown that, like Icarus, he can't stand the political heat.
America now, and this report.
Milwaukee State Penitentiary, and on death row, it's wedding bells, not execution yells, as condemned strangler Chapman Baxter prepares to tie the knot with female felon Charlene Gray.
I can't hear you.
Baxter goes to the electric chair tomorrow, but not before he weds Charlene, a convicted arsonist who set his heart on fire.
I ain't never loved nobody, nobody never loved me. When I met Charlene, it just was like a bolt from blue, and just fell in love and just figured, why the hell not? Why shouldn't I get married? Just like a real regular person. We ain't gonna go no older. We're just gonna get up there on this kind of double electric chair. And then I put the ring on Charlene's finger that connects the circuit, and then when we kiss, it completes the circuit, and then you know what's gonna happen.
Meanwhile, Baxter's bride-to-be is busy with last-minute preparations for her impending ending. Did you ever kill anyone?
Ollie, my dog.
The preparations for the connubial killing will start at 11 a.m. when Charlene Gray will walk down the aisle and straight into a sit-down reception. There's even a wedding cake for this wedding wake, but for presiding minister Alvin Holler, it's the bride, not the cake, who'll end up with the most tears.
So, why she won't go do a goddamn thing like that for?
Did you try to counsel the bride?
Yes, ma'am. She's sure pretty.
But not for long.
No, ma'am. She gonna die like a dog.
It's the morning of the nupticution, and everything's ready to give these newly deads a sizzling send-off.
Place the ring on her finger. And now pronounce you man and wife. You may kiss your bride. Clear the area!
So, as Chapman Baxter leaves his bride jolted at the altar, looks like this is one wedding where we all get to toast the happy couple. Barbara Winogreen, CBN News, Milwaukee State Penitentiary.
Time now for the weather with Sylvester Stewart.
Starting in the southeast, where it should be dull and drizzly in the morning, a bit like waking up next to a corpse. In Wales, it should start off nice, but bits of unpleasant old weather should drift back by the afternoon and the rain will bitch down. Things should improve in the northeast and the southwest, which should collide towards mid-afternoon, and there'll be loud thunderstorms later in the evening, about the volume of a Thin Lizzy concert. In summary then, And that's all the weather.
Wise words there from Sylvester Stewart. Time now for sport with Alan Partridge. Alan, you're a bit of a word man, aren't you?
I certainly am, like words. Where would we be without them? Help you when you're having a chat.
Yeah, do you feel them as they come out?
Yep, certainly do.
What do they feel like, then?
Yeah, something like that.
Do long words feel different from short ones?
Yeah, yeah.
What about significant words? What do they feel like? Alan.
What?
What do significant words feel like as they come out? Do they feel different?
Yes, yes. I'm Alan Partridge.
Buttress is a significant word, isn't it?
Yeah. This is Sports Desk. Football. The Liverpool versus Tanners match ended last night with defeat for the Tanners. I visited their dressing room. The atmosphere here hangs heavy, like a big smell. The smell of men together, the smell of cat's musk. Bob Mariner, you missed the penalty. Why?
Yeah, Alan, it was a bad one. It took the top of my boot. It was all over in an instant.
You look really stupid.
Yeah, it wasn't a good performance. I'm going to try and take a shower now. Look on to the rest of the season.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Are you going to wash away the stain of defeat?
Yeah. Get clean now and look on to the next. Start again in the rest of the season.
Yeah, but when you go home with your, you get to bed with your wife tonight. You watch the other VHS. You're going to sleep with her. She sees a stain on your body, and she says, "Bob, remove the stain." Will you remove it?
I'm married, Alan. I'm married.
Oh, you've got a girlfriend, though. On to show jumping. And I managed to catch up with the Australian dazzler Katrina Parfitt after this morning's big horse event. Katrina, quick word. Let me say, you look fantastic on a horse.
Thank you very much.
You're like the Lone Ranger on Tonto.
Oh.
How do you feel?
Well, I feel disappointed. I didn't quite make it this time, but, you know, that's the way it goes.
I was personally gutted because I love those little touches you add, the way you turn, smile at the judge.
Well,
a little wave, a little wink.
it doesn't go on looks and smiles, it goes on a lot of skill and discipline now.
I'm sure it does, but let me tell you, if I'd have been a judge, I would have been a complete mess.
Right.
What about the horse? How's that handling?
Well, Sedanzik wasn't doing too well. He shied away from the water jump, and that's when I really began to lose it.
Yeah, well, let me tell you, if you ever have any more problems with him, you can ride me around the paddock.
Thank you. Anyway, I think that next year I'll have better luck.
How do you ride a horse?
How do I ride?
How do you ride a horse?
Well, I've been riding since the age of about 5. I don't think it's anything you can learn. I think it's something that's in the blood.
Sedanzik
is my horse, yeah. And I shall be back next year and I shall win on him.
You tell him.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Very much. Thank you. Katrina Parfitt, a lady.
A fact, alone and tumbling through infospace. Without help, it could vanish forever. Because only this can make it a news.
Here with comments on some of the stuff we've just seen, our resident reactor, Jacques Livereau, who's been commenting on everything since the start of the programme. He just sort of gets on with it as he goes along. Let's dip into him now.
If we could see politics, what would it look like? A cube, but with all its corners on the inside.
Back now to the constitutional crisis. The Queen processes to Downing Street today to punch John Major back in the face. Huge crowds are gathering there already. Our reporter down among it all, Jonathan Sizz. Thank you very much. It really is a magnificent potato of a day here today. This, of course, the route that Princess Anne will be taking. She is the Queen's second. The Queen herself will be going down the Mall, through Admiralty Arch, around Trafalgar Square, and then on down Whitehall itself to number 10. I've been meeting some of the people here who've been getting terribly excited over the last 24 hours. It's nice to see the Queen bouncing back today, wasn't it?
Indeed it was.
A good quality bounce?
Most certainly.
And do you think the Prime Minister is going to lose today?
I couldn't honestly say.
It's going to be a close one, isn't it? But is it quite right that the Queen should end up on top?
Yes, certainly.
If you were right there able to administer on the spot justice to somebody who had punched the monarch in the face, what would you do to them if you were right there, standing next to them, bang, and so on?
Well, I would immediately smother the person, whoever it was, if anybody attempted to assault the sovereign.
If you'd been there on the day, you would have smothered the man, Major?
Yes.
With your own clothing?
Yes.
Yes. Or anything else that came to hand? Cloths?
Yes.
Blankets?
Yes.
Even a handkerchief?
Yeah.
And what would you have said to him as you smothered him?
No, I wouldn't have said anything at all.
No words, just physical action.
Physical action, that's all it's called for.
Flatten the bugger.
That's right.
And we gather that whilst that was going on, the Queen took a secret tunnel straight into number 10 and may already be inside.
This afternoon, opposition MPs turned up to weaken the Prime Minister. That was part of the deal too. And throughout the day, he'd received a stream of colleagues to use as sparring partners and tactical pain advisors, including Kenneth Clarke, Michael Howard, Christopher Biggins and Michael Heseltine. Mr. Major then received strength from supporters and well-wishers, including pop star George Michael.
And our cameras have been rolling all the time. I'm told if we turn the sound up, it is possible to hear Her Majesty's arrival and the solemn punching up. And to commemorate the end of the crisis, the Post Office has released a special stamp featuring the Queen and John Major kissing.
If democracy is a bra, then the monarchy are breasts, and we cannot imagine a society without breasts. Hélas.
And it's difficult not to feel humbled or even ashamed after that. Soul reversal. We're looking today at soul reversal. Is that a good or a bad thing?
A good thing.
Would you like to see it happening more often?
Yes, I think so, yeah.
If you... Is it the sort of thing that you can feel, or does it happen slowly?
Slowly? Yeah, slowly. Definitely slowly.
Can you feel it beginning to happen or not?
Yes. Yeah.
You can, and what's the sensation like as you experience soul reversal yourself?
Not very nice.
Would you like to see soul reversal more in crowded areas like football matches, or quiet areas like churches?
No, football matches.
Bit of soul reversal, a football match from the players as well?
Yeah, or certainly from the players, yeah.
By what sort of degree would you like to see the soul reversed? How much?
All the way, I think.
Well, yeah. Let's look at it like this. Could you hold the microphone for me a second and I'll just show you?
Yeah.
If we, taking a standard soul in, like that, and something to reverse it on, like this, with 90, 180, 270 or 360. How much would you like to see it reversed by?
Half.
Like this?
I think around half. Or,
yeah. So you'd like to see that as the ideal soul reversal for a football match?
Definitely, yeah.
The day today approaches the buffet with an extremely broad plate.
And more from the day-to-day special Germ in the Pipe documentary on life at St Lamb's Swimming Pool in Acton.
I'm a pool supervisor, the night supervisor. I basically watch the monitors at night, see if anything occurs. There was one incident, I remember it quite clearly. I was filling in a puzzle and I heard the noise. It was a commotion up in the rafters, and somehow, we never know even to this day, a pigeon had got in, was flapping around in the rafters. We called the bird specialists, they removed it in the morning.
I'm really sorry this has occurred. If you'd like to talk to Vicky afterwards, you know, we welcome you having a few free swims at the pool at our expense, because it's very unfortunate. So please do talk to Vicky.
I mean, I think
Very
it
sorry,
violates the health and something.
Yeah, you'll get an early bird swim, all right?
Just shut it. Just shut it, right? Just cut it out now. Cut it out now.
I've never attempted to use the pool myself at night, although some time ago I used to go down and take showers, and on one occasion I went down and to the pool and found a woman's swimming costume, which I put on and paraded around, singing a song, Joan Baez protest song.
This is procedural inaccuracy. What are we supposed to do when there's a roach in the pool?
Ooh.
What are we supposed to shout?
Say, Mr. Linus is in the pool.
And what did you shout? Oh my God, there's a cockroach.
Yeah, well,
I mean, this is indicative of what's been going on all along.
Shut up, it's not funny.
It's not funny, actually.
This pool's been open nearly 40 years, and in all that time I only slipped up once, to my mind. I was engaged in a particularly tricky word puzzle, and 40 people had broken in, were in the pool, playing around, sort of ducking, bombing, doing all manner of prohibited activities, and eventually someone was killed.
But given that your sole responsibility is to maintain the security of the pool, isn't that an indictment against yourself?
Well, I would say this. I've been working here for 18 years. In 1975, no one died. In 1976, no one died. In 1977, no one died. In 1978, no one died. In 1979, no one died. In 1980, someone died. In 1981, no one died. In 1982, there was the incident with a pigeon. In 1983, no one died. In 1984, no one died. In 1985, no one died. In 1986, I mean, I could go on. No. Right.
Ultra News.
Just time for a quick look at tomorrow's headlines. Today, you could blow notes across the holes in his head, says Sinatra Doc. The Herald Tribune go with boiled dog could do maths, claims experimenter. The European, elastic song strangles Hucknall. The Daily Telegraph and other broadsheets feature tabs here down the side for ease of turning the pages. And the Independent go with Portillo's face felt like guts, says Girl. That's it, just to let you know that police are still looking for the actor Burt Reynolds after he stole a Dodgem and drove it out of a fairground in Islington. The 59-year-old American eluded capture after a low-speed car chase and was last seen heading north on the M11 near Saffron Walden. That's it. Good night. The headlines tonight: NATO annulled after delegate swallows treaty. I'm so sorry, yells exploding cleaner. And bearded cleric in oily chin insertion. Those are the headlines. God, I wish they weren't. Top gets tonight. News presenter sacked in attempt to sell house to David Owen.
75,000, would that be enough, do you think?
And spiders will never speak, insists ambassador.
I don't think so myself. I should be very surprised if they did it in public, and I should be equally surprised if they did it in private.
There's growing evidence this evening that suspects held in police cells are being eaten by police. This report from Ted Moore has that story.
4 men vanish overnight from a Reading police cell. The next detainee complains of a drain blocked with caked blood and pieces of fat on his floor. A drunk man in Chatham is banged up for the night and has his arm punched full of holes. He says the police tried to fill his arm with garlic. Just part of an increasingly muscular body of evidence, that, say activists, proves that suspect eating is on the increase and that the increase is getting rapid. The best evidence of all is this: a Bow Street bastard. A special truncheon used for beating suspects which tears out cubes of flesh small enough to fry. Activist F.U.K.D says this is just one piece of evidence of suspect eating from a huge list in his head.
And it's nonsense.
Unexplained disappearances from police cells have doubled in the last year. Records show suspects are regularly weighed and smeared in oil. But police say this is just standard practice for young offenders. Campaigners are calling for immediate action. Without it, they say, thousands of suspects across the country could be eaten tonight by panicking policemen.
It's just been It's just been announced there's to be a special inquiry into the government's handling of the Froome shipping deal, which flew to pieces last month amid accusations of gross ministerial misconduct. Our economics correspondent, Peter O'Hanrahan, is with the Minister for Ships, Michael Crane. He's just prized him out of an emergency meeting.
I'm with the Minister for Ships,
That's
Michael
right, Peter.
Crane.
Everything I've just said comes spewing straight back out of his stupid slab of a face.
Mr. Crane, choppy waters for the government.
Not at all, Peter. This procedure was entirely proper, and I think the inquiry will prove that the government's handling of this matter was entirely proper.
So the government's ship back on course?
Absolutely.
Back to you, Chris.
Peter, what the hell was that? This man's made a big-scale cock-up here. You let him get away with it. Now, let me speak to him. Put your earpiece next to his head and stand still. Now, Minister, there's reason to believe that you lied to the House. How do you answer that?
Well, that is a very serious and unfounded allegation, and I'll be making a statement to the House based on the preliminary inquiry next week.
A week is a long time in politics.
Rab Butler.
Shut up, Peter. Now, Minister, did you or did you not lie to the House?
I will be making a full statement to the House next week.
It's a simple question, yes or no. Did you or did you not lie?
As the Minister for Ships sprawls on the pin, it's back to you, Chris.
No, it isn't, Peter. He's about to answer the question. He's about to admit to lying to the House. You've let him get away again. Where's he gone?
Over there.
Well, get him back.
He's in a cab.
Peter, you've lost the news. What are you going to say?
Sorry.
Look like you mean it. Look down at the ground and say sorry.
I'm sorry.
Peter, next time you cross the road, don't bother looking.
Sorry.
Travel now from Valerie Sinatra in her pod a mile above the centre of Great Britain. Valerie, talk me some road.
Well, you're gagging for it, Chris, so here goes. The M4 between Reading and London is still solid. That's due to the lorry driver having shed his skin across 3 lanes, so watch out for oily patches there. The M40 southbound still slow due to that earlier large accident. Police reckon they should have finished bagging and labelling everything by about midnight. Meanwhile, mobile vehicle crushers are in operation in Cardiff on red line routes. So if you're illegally parked there, they will crush your car to the size of a Satsuma and simply hand it back to you.
I love Satsumas.
Well, so do I, Chris, but I don't think I'd like to drive one.
Yeah, but I bet if you did, you'd do it really well.
Finally, a look at the capital, which is London. Worse than ever tonight, I'm afraid. Lots of cars on Oxford Street being slowed down by their own lights. So I'm afraid your fast, speedy sports car, no use to you at all tonight, Chris.
Thanks very much indeed, Valerie, and I'm sure Alan will agree she certainly is one for a fast car.
She certainly is. I prefer something a little bit more comfortable myself.
Well, with me, Alan, it's comfort and speed every time.
Well, a fast car's a safe car.
Of course, in the States, we drive a whole lot slower than you guys.
Actually, I think statistically, slower cars are actually more dangerous.
Yeah, but you can't be saying we should get rid of the speed limits.
No.
That's what
I'm saying.
Now the sport with Alan Partridge.
Thanks, Chris. And it's a special desk of sport this week as we look forward to all the sporting action that will take place in this year's 1994 World Cup finals in America in Alan Partridge's World Cup Countdown to 94. Goal! Yes,
Yes, yes, yes, yes, yes. Yes! That was a goal. Goal! Striker! Eat that! And another! Bing bang, stick it in. Thank you and good night.
Swat! That was liquid football.
Shit! Did you see that? He must have a foot like a traction engine. Goal!
Well, it's going to be 3 weeks of non-stop action, and to help us along and add a little bit of colour and fun to the proceedings, I've got with me a soccer meter. What's that, Alan? Well, I'll tell you, it's very simple. It's to explain the group system. Now, first of all these long arms here, these long signposts, are the venues where the matches will be played. Dallas, San Francisco, Los Angeles, and so on. If you look at me from above, you can see that these are the group. This is the group system. It's 14 groups: A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, L, M, N, and there are 4 rounds. There's round 1, the red round, yellow round, blue round, red round again. That's my colour coding, not FIFA's. You won't find that with FIFA, just with me. So that's the basis of it, and as you can see, they get progressively fewer towards the centre, the ultimate goal being the World Cup. All right, let's take an example. OK, round 1 is Pasadena. Let's say it takes place in Pasadena, between Chile and Paraguay, something like that, OK? And then we're through to round 2, which is, let's say it's San Francisco. We've not got much time here. San Francisco, and that goes through to Orlando. So let's take it round to Orlando there. Let's move those out of the way. Where's San Francisco? Right, just going to find San Francisco. Where is it? There it is, right. So San Francisco have played Orlando, and then we're through to round 3, Los Angeles. It's not written. It's not written on that side. It should be, but it's blooming not. And then it's whoever wins that. Then we're through to the final of the World Cup. Who's that going to be?
Goal! The proof is in the pudding, and the pudding in this case is a football. Booth, eat my goal. The goalie has got football pie all over his shirt.
I'm Alan Partridge, and that will be my World Cup '94. You can come too. Join me.
Thanks, Alan. More sport from you later.
Absolutely, Chris. With a bit of luck, we'll have Sandy Lyle on the line.
America now. Oh. If you have a baby in the States, you may well be in for a bit of a surprise when they yank it out. Barbara Wintergreen reports.
San Spirito, California, where Americans keen to brood but too busy to breed pay for a prosthetic pregnancy. This is a natus, a plastic disc implanted inside the womb which expands to give the sensation of labor without being sentenced to children.
And there she is. Can you see her at the top there? There she is. Say hello. That's lovely.
The cervical substitute is the Formica brainchild of doctors B.O.M.B.D and Mortimer Marcus.
Isn't that extraordinary? Starts out like that, it ends up like that. Isn't that nice?
Within the woman's body.
Absolutely.
Comes out just like this. Woo!
At this fallopian factory, people come for a credit card conception. The price includes labor and delivery, and there's a hefty surcharge on the discharge. Among the thousands of proxy parents forking out for this flexible fetus are Anton and Lally Sampson.
We've really worked hard at, we've given him his own room. He's got his Bon Jovi posters, Sharon's the Red Sox.
But divorcing Americans are causing courtroom chaos in custody battles for their beloved disc. And outside the Natus Institute, Women's League protester Taya Peachman leads a womb vigil against synthetic siring.
I believe you've been smashing nadi, is that true?
Yeah, we have nadi smashing by the side of the road to try and de-encouragize the women who come in here thinking that they want a thing in their women. They do not. They can spend their money, but they should just remember that they're women and they have a right to live and to breathe.
That's the beauty of the whole natus thing, is that if a woman wants the pain, if she wants to scream, if she wants to bleed, she can. If, however, she just wants it to pop out like...
bar of soap.
Like a bar of soap.
then she can have that option too.
So it looks like this is one reproduction line where a plastic and placenta go hand in hand. Barbara Wintergreen, CBN News at the Natus Institute, San Spirito, California.
The Day Today, because fact into doubt won't go.
And we've just heard that areas in 3 of Britain's biggest cities are being evacuated due to suspect dogs. Police believe this could be the start of a mainland campaign of dog bombs threatened by the IRA last month. This report from Eugene Fraxby, who's got the story with him, reports.
Oxford Street in London with 3 policemen and a knotted tape barrier. A stray dog was spotted here an hour ago and everybody ran out. Police then isolated the area containing the dog and told the public to clear off. Later they located it and conducted a controlled explosion. But as the remains were being taken for laboratory tests, a second dog ran out from the crowd. It could have been a bomb. The police had no choice. It was over in seconds. A dog and 3 people dead from guns. Being old, they would have died soon anyway. But the dog, which contained no explosive at all, was shot to ribbons in its prime.
By 6 o'clock this evening, a monument had been built, marking the end, perhaps, of the relationship between man and dog, which today went from this to this.
The only way police can neutralize bomb dogs is to spray them with a resin coating which hardens instantly to contain any explosion. The inside of the bomb dog is obviously destroyed, but the outside stays the same shape. However, if the underside is not covered, a highly directional blast launches the animal vertically to a height of over 1,000 feet.
Coming up, new explosive sus laws mean any domestic dog is now a potential hazard. And an eyewitness who was caught up in more bomb dog chaos.
By shooting one policeman in particular I saw, it went,
No!
one guy, I don't know whether he was involved or not, was running away. He went, and he caught him one more time between the eyes. It was horrible. He went, that was as much as I saw, really.
7 more dogs have gone off in the last 10 minutes. Eugene Fraxby.
The 4 hounds exploded in central London without warning, all within yards of government buildings. The Prime Minister put on a brave face, but for many, like Tory whip Peter Goodright, the time for calm words is over.
An absolute fucking disgrace. These inhuman, sit-for-sales cocksuckers have no place here. In my considered opinion, they are cunts.
Journalist David Mellor added little of interest.
An insolent contempt for public opinion.
And for Junior Health Secretary Paul Mann, words alone could not express his anger. Police are on the alert again this evening and have cordoned off a man in Piccadilly. It's believed he may have eaten a suspect dog last night and could now go off himself.
Sinn Féin have so far denied they are backing the campaign. Earlier today, I spoke to their deputy leader, Rory O'Connor, who under broadcasting restrictions must inhale helium to subtract credibility from his statements.
So what's your initial statement?
These incidents are inevitable given the position of the British government.
You do support this campaign then?
The IRA have been forced into this position.
So you do support this campaign of violence?
The IRA... Sinn Féin is a legitimate political party.
Which supports terrorist action.
Your tone is antagonistic and you're making me very angry.
And since we conducted that interview, all sides in the conflict have had a meeting and have sorted everything out.
The Day Today is now available in these fine locations. The night sky over Paris. The International Hackenbecker Building in Chicago. The wall of Cheops Pyramid at Giza. And the handles of 400 million petrol pumps across the globe.
The huge success of the BBC's new soap opera, The Bureau, has now spread to Italy.
Voglio parlarne adesso, parleremo più tardi.
Questo per me va
They've got a daytime discussion show there devoted entirely to it. It's called Bello Buretti, and its stars are the wagging tongues of hosts Carmena Zo and Pulcazina McRae.
Ma tu sei in crisi, eh?
No.
Ah, siete da bravo! Ah, te grande porca! Ah, sei bravo, Maria!
Más diferente. Gentil es muy masculino. Ultimación de la masculino.
Non un spettacolo di burattini sul lungomare a Margate.
So much for the Euro Bureau. Meanwhile, back here in Britain, a nation holds its breath tonight for the 2000th edition.
Burro.
Quick! Get him into the bureau de change!
What happened?
Who did this to you?
I don't know, I didn't see.
Get him. I'll get these evildoers.
No, Alex, violence solves nothing. Why did they do this to me? Just because I'm gay? I'm gay. I'm gay.
What?
It's Guy, Mr. Hennity. He's been attacked.
Yeah, I know. What did you say?
I said I'm gay.
You're fired.
What?
I'm warning you, Jack Hennity. If Guy goes, we all go.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go on then, walk. The lot of you, walk. I've got people queuing up to work inside this bureau de change.
Right. Right. I'm going.
Me too. I don't even work here.
Yeah, go on, you go and all. But just you remember what you said. Maria! Maria!
I would see myself as an individual human being needing salvation, receiving it through the work of Jesus Christ.
Do you find the day-to-day comes into this at all?
Well, how can it not? It is day-to-day.
Every day, the day-to-day?
Every day, day-to-day, yeah.
For you?
Yes.
And with a bit of luck for all these people?
That's what one prays for, what one would like to see.
You would like to see the day-to-day for all these people today? If your prayer was answered?
That they should each enter into an experience of personal salvation.
Which would include the day-to-day?
Well, how could it not? I don't know what kind of salvation you could be talking about that wouldn't include the day-to-day.
Enviromation from me, Rosie May. An international ban on the hunting of waves has finally been introduced. Waves have been used for centuries to pull cars in small countries, but are now facing extinction. Over 1 million specially farmed waves are to be released into the wild this winter. Man has finally harnessed the cooling power of worms to drive a fridge. The worms inhabit an internal piping system cooling everything as they go. Cramming in more worms lowers the temperature. Worms. I'm Rosie May. My milk is green. Come drink me.
Tomorrow, the Home Office release a new series of videos designed to help young people with everyday problems. They're produced in association with the Day-to-Day, and this is the first.
Salted! 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 Yeah! Salted!
Hello, I'm Graham. And I'm Crispin. And today we're going to show you how to deal with a relative who's just died in your house. Let's go.
Oh, look, Dad's dead.
Oh, bugger.
Hello, Dad.
Are you dead?
Right then, what you'll need is some vinegar, an oven glove, 2 ping pong balls, fresh,
books,
some butcher's grass,
super glue, some bungee, a salad spinner, and a chisel.
1 chili chisel and a packet of fresh, please.
First, embalming.
A cup of vinegar,
bit of shoe polish on the wrists,
and inject the corpse thoroughly with fresh.
Now he's ready for the coffin.
But don't forget,
wash your hands.
Now he's unburied, now he's not. Leave her up a nearby paving stone.
Scratch on the name.
Write the name on the stone, so Pim can see what's in the ground.
And make way for the priest. For your bouquet, stick your chisel into your salad spinner.
Plunge it into the mound. Flowers! Sorted! Unless, of course, you're a Muslim.
Muslim!
Now with the rest of today's news, Chris, thanks. It's 8 o'clock. This is the day-to-day. The main stories so far. The Libyan leader Colonel Gaddafi has plunged southern Europe into crisis by kidnapping Crete and towing it to a secret location off the Libyan coast. Crowds in Tripoli welcomed the news, a delighted Gaddafi waving like a girl. Libyan tugs stole Crete at 2 o'clock this morning. At first, the natives, aided by strong winds, were able to haul it halfway back. But then they lost grip, the island was towed to the North African coast and hidden underwater. The Lincolnshire village of F.U.K.D is tonight recovering from a gravity quake during which the Earth's pull was reversed for 7 minutes, sending everything not secured onto the ground over a mile into the air. The quake struck at 4:30 this afternoon. These pictures were taken by Paul Cork, who had his Polaroid with him when he fell up into the roof of a shed. This man survived by clinging onto a boot scraper. Others were not so lucky.
I was playing football with my cousin just in the garden there, and he jumped up to catch the ball and just kept going.
His cousin later rained back onto the ground along with 4,000 other villagers. The American space shuttle Endeavour 4 sets off tonight on its special stunt mission. Once in orbit, it will hurtle towards a NASA space ramp, fly off the end and leap over a line of 12 other shuttles. It will then return to Earth tomorrow afternoon at 3:30. It's time now for our resident humorist Brant, the physical cartoonist from the Daily Telegraph, to bloody the noses of the great and good. Mr. B, make us smile about the bad things in the world.
This week, I've been looking east, where Chris Patton, like King Kong, has made a monkey of himself over Hong Kong.
An old man stands naked in front of a mirror eating soup. He is a fool.
Jacques Livereau, a brilliant man and a surprisingly nice one too. Now, it's easy to tell if somebody's dead, but how can you tell if you're dead? Some people have lived to tell the tale. In a short film we've made.
Lucy Turner Warwick is a boxing trainer in High Wycombe. She had a near-death experience when in a coma induced by a pupil.
I learnt later that I had actually died. My heart stopped for, I don't know, a few seconds. I could see a tunnel, and at the end of that tunnel, a very, very bright light. I was aware of a figure standing at the end where the light was. She led me into an open-plan office, and at the back there was this little separate office, and she beckoned me towards it, and on the door it said God. And there was a man, very nice, friendly man in a suit, grey hair, and I sat down and we chatted a bit. He was very jokey and jolly, and I remember he had a little sign behind his head that said, it was one of those, you know, you don't have to be mad to work here, but it helps, or something. So I thought, well, he's obviously got a sense of humour. Anyway, we talked, and then he pointed to another man in a suit with a beard and said, "That's my son." And I looked back at God, and he laughed and said, "It's a family firm," you know. And it was very, very friendly, but very boring.
I'm afraid all of these people that talk of these out-of-body experiences are basically congenital liars.
Chanticleer Gardsley is Professor of Psychosociology at University College London. He is a skeptic.
We have a whole catalogue of examples of hospitals actually manufacturing out-of-body experiences whereby they attach patients to wires and actually lift them up towards the ceiling, therefore creating in the patient a feeling of literally lifting out of their bodies.
In laboratory experiments, scientists artificially created near-death experiences in mice. They fired hungry mice against a wall with a specially calibrated gun. Food was placed on a shelf above the comatose mice. If they had a soul, it would leave the mouse's body, float upwards, and eat. The results showed that afterwards, the mice felt as if they had just eaten. More proof was provided by the out-of-body experience of Leslie Safrat.
I could actually see myself coming out of my mouth as vomit, but it wasn't just as vomit, it was like as vomit in a dress. And then I woke up and I was a woman. I went into my experience as a man, but left it as a woman. Something definitely happened, but I don't know what.
So how do you explain the case of Keith Phillips, who returned from his out-of-body experience as a woman?
He didn't.
But we filmed it, and there's an awful lot of evidence to show that that's the case.
No, there isn't.
Do you believe in God?
Oh, yes. And I liked him. I like him. I love him, but I don't want to go and... I don't want to go and work for him. Not yet.
An optimist sees half a pint of milk, he says it is half full. A pessimist sees half a pint of milk, he says it is half empty. I see half a pint of milk, I say it is sour.
No time for anything but the weather. A lot of snow around. Pretty grim out there, isn't it, Sylvester?
Yes, Chris, most of Britain will be waking up tomorrow to a carpet of white dung.
Thanks, mate. And that's it. No time left for the headlines. That's the day today. 9 o'clock BBC 2 tomorrow night. We'll start again. Until then, thanks very much for watching. Just remains for me to wish you a very good night. Join us again tomorrow night for a full resume of the day's events, the sport, the business, the weather, and the very latest changes in the world of politics. Same time, 9 o'clock tomorrow evening on BBC 2. That's the day today, keeping you abreast of the very latest changes in local, national and international news. Prepared to break the flow of the programme if necessary to accommodate footage of unfurling events. Often live packaged by field reporters on the hoof. Those who know that news is paramount and only the most recently hatched news egg has any currency at all. That's the day today. It's fittest, sharpest news programmes, full sport coverage, keeping you abreast of football matches. The headlines tonight: Euro MPs' new headsets play the sound of screaming women. Brian Ferry bath mat poisonous, say lab. And bouncing elephantiasis woman destroys central Portsmouth. Those are the headlines. Happy now? Hello, sir. On the day-to-day tonight, MP in heartless outburst after bomb goes off in Hurd's bath.
Well, one bomb's going off in the Foreign Secretary's hand, but all he does is say, well, I didn't need that hand anyway.
And a warm handshake from Michael Heseltine for the children he is about to release into the woods and shoot.
How do you do? Nice to say hello to you.
The Bank of England is in chaos following the discovery that the pound has been stolen.
As the news broke, trading rooms were plunged into chaos. Even seasoned campaigners known for grace under pressure reduced to squawking the day's panicked cry.
What's happening?
What's happening? The pound was stolen at 1:30 this afternoon by thieves dressed as cleaners. They drove a white Montego. Helicopter police gave chase, but despite the shunt, the men escaped, making good with their legs across open ground. As city markets crashed and flew off, the government tried to stabilise the economy with an emergency currency based on the Queen's eggs, several thousand of which were removed from her ovaries in 1953 and held in reserve. This meant anyone mad enough to seize on the panic selling of dead pounds could become a dollar millionaire in less than an hour.
How much money have you personally made today? probably about 10 million.
Throughout the day, bank officials have refused to confirm the rumours that the pound was only vulnerable at all because they removed it to play with at lunchtime and forgot to put it back.
Later tonight, we'll be asking Malcolm Rifkin for his view and asking him why he likes pulling the legs off live dogs and shooting foreign policemen.
The day-to-day homicide news.
I'm Alan Partridge. Hello. Rally driving. The championship starts tonight, but here's what I got up to this morning. Hi, you join me with Susie Herper, one of this Britain's top lady rally drivers. Susie, you're going to be subjecting me to some atrocious punishment. What's that?
Well, I'm going to take you around the course that I won the rally on recently.
Right, fantastic. And the stickers, what are the stickers for?
Advertising.
It's as simple as that.
Yeah.
Really is that simple. Before we go around the course, just to explain, this is a modern camera that will be watching all my facial movements. It's the size of a slim Panatella cigar. One more thing, it's a great model, it goes like a bomb, and the car's not bad either. Come on, let's go burn some rubber. I see you quite, oh, hey! Hey! Spunky lady!
Hence the bumpiness.
Yeah, certainly know how to handle this bitch. You keep her in line. I like it. It's good. You take another scruff of the neck and you let it know who's the queen. The car's the bitch. You're the queen and I like it. Yeah, whoa. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Easy. Easy. Whoa! What's in there?
Yeah.
Why are you stupid? Watch out for that! Careful! Well, whilst driving like she was, maybe big and clever on the rally track, it certainly isn't on a housing estate. Remember, lives matter. Chris.
It's been revealed that the junior Treasury Minister, Michael Portillo, carries a sawn-off shotgun to constituency meetings, corners children in parks and chews their cheeks, and has frequent sexual intercourse with stray animals, claiming, as long as it's got a backbone, I'll do it. That story we reported last week and have since discovered it to be untrue.
Paul Boteng.
Do you feel that young people are taking the right cues from their culture?
I think young people make a contribution and indeed form the culture in which they live and in which we all live.
How do you feel about some of the more dangerous elements of their cultural melee?
I don't know what you mean by their more dangerous elements.
We're talking bang. I'm talking guns. I'm talking about people like Uzi MC, the blood rap movement, Herman the Tosser. How do you feel when young people are presented with the sort of stuff that they're churning out?
I think it's rather sad.
When somebody listens to Herman the Tosser?
And I think that there are very many young people who are turned off by that violence, by that sexism, by that racism, and by that homophobia.
Are you levelling all those accusations at Herman the Tosser?
No, I'm not. Herman the Tosser is not someone who has invaded my own particular consciousness.
And
although clearly he has invaded yours, it is a concern of yours. It sounds to me rather.
It sounds to me too.
It sounds to me rather.
And it sounds to me too.
Rather an unpleasant
name,
but he may be a delightful and inoffensive person.
The day-to-day. The last scintilla of doubt just rode out of town.
The American serial killer Chapman Baxter is to be executed today by the dead body of his last victim. Barbara Wintergreen reports.
Florida State Penitentiary and killer Chapman Baxter has dug deep into his past for tomorrow's execution ceremony.
The best kind of justice would be if my last victim, Colin Magnifevent, could be dug up and he could kill me.
At Oregon's Magnifevent Center, Dr. Travis Davely has been fleshing out Chapman's unusual carcass request.
Do the arm movements once more.
Coffin Boffin Travis has undertaken to manometrize Colin Magnifevent, the man who Baxter blasted in the past. He's even helping him to speak from the grave.
There's three sample voices. The first one is a kind of generic voice.
Justice.
The second one is Martin Sheen.
Justice.
And the third one is my favorite, Louis Armstrong.
Yes, yes.
All of America is electrified by this vigilante victim. He's appeared in a cavalcade of front covers and chat shows and has squeezed new life into fruit juice ads.
Tangiest fruit juice you've ever tasted. Then there ain't no.
Yes, yes.
Live wire a.k.a. is dating supermodel Kendall Ball, who seems stuck on the stiff.
Colin's kind of cute. He's strong and silent, and he doesn't bullshit me like other guys.
Do you get to spend a lot of time alone together?
Well, no, because Travis is always with us, but I kind of like it that way.
I've got this little dream whereby there's a whole village of reanimated corpses, and if you like, a kind of control tower in the center of that village with a bank of monitors, and I control all the corpses.
Why use corpses? Why not normal people? Why don't you just leave things the way they are?
Because normal people, because I wouldn't have my tower. I want a tower.
The day of justice, and Baxter gets to renew his acquaintance with a body of evidence.
In whose voice do you wish justice to be done?
Martin Sheen.
Thank you very much. You may proceed.
Colin needs a few moments to decompose himself before delivering a stiff charge to Baxter.
Justice.
So, as Chapman Baxter came here to bury his past, looks like his past has come to bury him. This is Barbara Wintergreen, CBN News at the Corpsecution, Florida State Penitentiary.
BBC Mandarins are bleating again, this time because their new soap opera, The Bureau, has just plummeted out of the ratings. A BBC spokesman said, "Don't read too much into the fact that we're sending them out on tour to the regions on the back of a truck. It's not to drum up support, it's just standard policy for all programmes." Have a look, shall we?
Maria?
Yeah?
You know I'm gay?
Yeah.
Well, do you think it's possible for a gay man to love a woman?
Of course it is, Guy. There's no rules to love. You've got to follow your heart.
Maria?
Yeah?
I love you.
Watch out, it's Hannity.
Boy, I'm trying to run a high-class bureau de change, not some two-bit nipple peep show in Rio de Janeiro.
Ange, where you been all day? We've been worrying about you.
It's not Ange anymore, actually. It's Mrs. Hannity to you.
A cat meows, a horse neighs, a lion roars, a bird sings, a snake hisses, a human barks.
Time now for business with Collaterally Sisters.
Thanks, Chris.
You do it! Get it now! No, you get it! It's over there!
Arguments like that broke out on the international markets today when economic talks collapsed and Spain withdrew from the world and began trading with itself. The peseta burst open at 4. The pound was barely audible this morning. It rotted by 3.9 points against the dollar, and there was further bad news for coat developers Watney Heckbulb, who were ordered to cease trading because of bad burping. Chris. On now to the money markets and a quick look at the international finance arse. And there you can see the US and Japanese cheeks started off with a gap of 2.4, but increased trading forced the two together to form a unified arse at around lunchtime, which held for the rest of the day. In summary then, oh no, Chris?
For a second night running, London's police are out in force clamping the homeless. The new measures have been in operation since Monday and are already proving successful.
The clamps are bolted on to any homeless person found asleep or motionless after 9 p.m. at night. This is the time when London's street people start accumulating in doorways, many of them drunk and pissed up on booze. The clamps ensure that any homeless who has caused a blockage is forced to stay put when they wake up. They've probably been sick too. They are then prosecuted and punished.
And reaction to the new measures has been strong. So far, we've spoken to Kim Wilde.
Does it make you feel bad when they clamp homeless people on the Strand?
When they clamp them?
Yeah. Businesses on the Strand getting in people to clamp them so they can't move away, and then they're persecuted. And then they fine them for being in the way.
I didn't know that. That's awful.
Would you call for clamps to be illegalised?
Certainly on human beings, it's obscene.
Environmation from me, Rosie May. A revolution in household heating is sweeping across America. Frozen fire. Normal fire is solidified in special cold furnaces and packaged for home freezer storage. It can then be defrosted at a later date and poured onto logs. Frozen fire saves heat. The echo from the nuclear bomb which destroyed Hiroshima is set to devastate the city again. Half of the original blast has ricocheted off Jupiter and will strike Japan in 2041. It's not yet known whether the city will be evacuated. I'm Rosie May. Tread not on the forest leaves, for you tread on my face.
Today is the anniversary of 1944. People did different things then and lived different lives. This day-to-day reminiscence package features contemporary memories and footage from a time when a 5-speed, 3-litre Ford Capri was the stuff of a madman's dreams.
What was the food situation like in those days?
Oh, it was dreadful. Of course it was dreadful. Sometimes we even had to eat bits of the house, bricks, and the mortar was tastier than the actual bricks because, I mean, after all, that had been mixed up once, and so you could mix it up again. We used to try to get it off other people's houses, of course, first, and houses that had been bombed and broken down. But sometimes you had to eat your own house, and it was better to find yourself without a house than without food.
Electricity was very, very expensive, but you had to have a light of some kind, so we had perhaps, I don't know, we thought it was quite a good idea. You see, babies have such a lot of energy. They're always on the go. So we used to connect the house to a baby, and that used to keep the lights going.
I don't remember much about 1945 because that was the year, that was my hibernation year.
Can I have your name?
Elwood Vickery.
You'd go and get your ticket and find out when you had to hibernate, and then you'd be given just a few weeks to get yourself organised. And, you know, you knew you had to keep going. We got into a box and curled up, and you went to sleep. It was our bit of the war effort, really, to keep ourselves out of the way.
Well, during the war, everybody was called up to be in the war cabinet, and I was called up to be the foreign secretary for a month. So there I was in meetings and having to express opinions, and I had to travel abroad. I went over to France, and I met the French foreign minister, and he was really quite impressed because my French really was rather good. So we had conversations with me understanding everything he said and answering him, but whether I answered him properly, I don't know.
This is the day-to-day. Still to come, controversy over new Treasury appointment.
I'm sick to death of this. All I ever get, Treasury, Treasury, Treasury. That's all I ever hear. I'm sick of it. I've had enough. Just all of you, f*** off.
And new anti-shoplifting measures for a B&Q store in Bracknell.
If I catch anybody stealing anything from the shop, then I shoot him through the mouth with this.
The number of MPs in Westminster suffering from Slemmel's disease has risen to 22.
Slemmel's disease is caused by a brain virus that affects the victim's ability to read. They can see the words but have no idea what they mean. Baroness Trumpington was the first to show signs 2 weeks ago. She may have caught it from a badger. Then John McGregor. The virus is highly infectious and lives in peppermints. This was the moment Peter Lilly realised he too was in trouble. Slemmel's also affects leg-eye coordination, causing victims to walk straight past places they intend to stop. So could you... Hey! By last Friday, William Waldegrave had little control over his body. Teddy Taylor followed. And Jimmy Knapp severely. Most seriously of all, on Monday, John Patton showed unmistakable signs, failing to recognise familiar surroundings and objects. Clearly having no understanding of the day's briefs. The second document proved equally mysterious, and the third he couldn't even be bothered to try. And the disease shows no sign of stopping. This morning Malcolm Rifkind appeared lost when he was just 20 yards from his office.
Doctors say the only treatments they can offer so far are rubbish.
A man sees God in his car. He crashes.
Today's historic trade agreement between Australia and Hong Kong marks a new season of hope for the future of world trade. The two countries have been at each other's throats for years, but now the hatchet's been buried by a treaty which allows unrestricted trading between all parties at all levels. I'm joined now by Martin Crace, the British Minister with special responsibility for the Commonwealth, and Gavin Hawtrey, the Australian Foreign Secretary in Canberra. Gentlemen, this is pretty historic stuff. Well done. A future of unbridled harmony then, Australia?
Yes, I think Martin Crace and I can be pretty satisfied. It's a good day.
And if, as in the past, Australia exceed their agreement, what will you do about it?
This is a very satisfactory treaty, which I'm sure will work well. Naturally, if the limits were exceeded, then this would be met with a firm line, but I can't see this being necessary.
Mr. Hawtrey, he's knocking a firm line in your direction. What are you going to do about that?
Well, in that case, we just reimpose sanctions as we did last year.
Sanctions? Hang on a second. They've only just swallowed their sanctions and now they're burping them back up in your face.
I think sanctions is rather premature talk. Certainly, if sanctions were imposed, we should have to retaliate with appropriate measures. But I can't
think appropriate measures is a euphemism, Mr. Hawtrey. You know what it means. What are you going to do about that?
Well, I just have to go back to Cabinet.
And ask them about what?
Well, I don't know. Maybe it's a matter for the military.
The military?
I think military measures is totally inappropriate reaction, and I think this is way, way over the top.
Sounds like you're being inappropriate, are you?
Of course I'm not being inappropriate, but Martin Crace knows that full well.
This is the sort of misunderstanding that I thought we'd laid to rest during our negotiating period.
Misunderstanding it certainly is. It's certainly not a treaty, is it? You're both at each other's throats, you're backing yourselves up with arms. What are you going to do about it? Mr. Hawtrey, let me give you a hint. Bang!
What are you asking me to say?
You know damn well what I'm asking you to say. You're putting yourself in a situation of armed conflict. What are you plunging yourself into?
You'd like me to say it?
I want you to say it, yes.
You want the word?
The word!
I will not flinch.
You will not flinch from?
War.
War. Gentlemen, I'll put you on hold. If fighting did break out, it will probably occur in Eastmanstown in the Upper Cataracts on the Australia-Hong Kong border. Our reporter Donald Bethlehem is there now. Donald, what's the atmosphere like?
Tension here is very high, Chris. The stretched twig of peace is at melting point. People here are literally bursting with war. This is very much a country that's going to blow up in its face.
Well, gentlemen, it seems you have little option now but to declare war immediately.
Well, this is quite impossible. I couldn't take such a decision without referring to my superior, Chris Patton. He's in Hong Kong.
Good, because he's on the line now via satellite. Mr. Patton, what do you think of the idea of a war now? I'll take that as a yes.
Very well, it's war.
War it is.
That's it, Chris. It's war. War has broken out. This is a war.
That's it. Yes, it's war. From now on, the Day-to-Day will be providing the most immediate coverage of any war ever fought. On the front line and in your face, Donald Bethlehem.
Standing by, Douglas Hurd.
The Day-to-Day smart bombs have nose-mounted cameras. This is Smart Bomb Stephen, and that is Susanna Gekalois.
I'll be reporting from inside the fight.
Like some crazy Trojan. And keeping an eye on everything that's going on out there at the Day-to-Day news pipe, Douglas Trox.
Chris.
But first, the weather from Sylvester Stewart.
And now the weather, starting in the southeast, where the sun should plop through after a dull start, a bit like having your hand sewn back on after a farming accident. Let's revolve the weather collar now 70 degrees to the Midlands, where I was first bereaved. And there'll be a large cack of heavy cloud covering the area, but it should stay dry enough for you to dance outside until our Lord Beelzebub calls upon us. Now, if we rotate the throat circle back to the West Country, and you can see there'll be several gits of bad weather across most of the sky. Some rain, but no more severe than soft porn. In summary then, and that's all the weather.
Back to the war, and on the front line in Eastmanstown, our reporter Donald Bethlehem. Donald, what's the latest?
As I swirled the last traces of toothpaste from my mouth this morning, a soldier's head flew past the window, shouting the word victory.
Seems to be a lot of action behind you there. Have you seen any fighting yourself?
Today I saw an old woman on the ground. She was lying in a pool of her own tomatoes.
Thank you, Donald. Earlier today, I've been down among the fighting myself. This is my report.
There's something about the way these people move that tells you they are a nation at war. Look into their eyes and you can read the words, "I have a reservation at the restaurant of death." It's a messy bistro with a bad name for soiling its customers' clothes. We've seen only one napkin in 4 days. The people here are confused, spending most of their time running about like idiots. Earlier today, we met a family who, thanks to this war, now have no home. A war which they feel anyway has nothing to do with them.
This is not our war. We are being forced to swallow the rotten egg of an angry political goose.
That boy is now a war orphan. One more victim of what they call here the desert confetti. I have a child about his age myself. When I phoned him 10 minutes ago, I told him to move out of the house to make room for his new brother.
Back live now. Progress on the day-to-day smart bomb. Jonathan, get rid of Hurd. Thanks.
Well, as you can see, Chris, there's the missile cruising about 2,000 per second, trying to locate the target, the soldier it's aimed at. There's a soldier, it goes in through the mouth there, down the esophagus, into the stomach. There's the explosion.
Absolutely bang. That's the day-to-day, bringing you another tear on the face of the world's mother. Alan, sport.
Thanks, Chris. And now some late-night soccer results. I'm Alan Partridge. This is Division 2. Hull Paragraph 5, Portsmouth Bubblejet 1. Sheffield Hysterical 3, Chunky Norwich 1. Richmond Arithmetic versus Nottingham Marjorie match postponed due to bent pitch. Good night.
Susanna Gekkelois has broken through to the front line. This is her contribution to history.
This is the very heart of the conflict. The men here have been fighting non-stop for 3 days. We drove in at night, straight into the middle of a rocket battle.
The air now is thick with what they call here the electric cornflakes. We are under strict instructions not to leave the vehicle, but to drive on through.
With no cover, we ran across open space to a nearby house. We found an injured man. We did our best. There are always casualties in war. There was a family sheltering in the back room. We had no tongue in common, but through the universal language of mutual need, I knew she was saying, "Come, set your equipment up in our refuge. The world must see this mess." These brave people are now sleeping, but they know that tomorrow our aerials and transmitters could make this house a prime target. Chris.
Back to the war now, and in the noise and heat of what they call here the flying scissor beans, there is no optimism, or at least wasn't, until just 2 minutes ago when we received these pictures of a miracle from the front line less than a mile from where I'm standing.
This was the scented rose in the bum gut of Satan, for here at 7:13 precisely, the fighting stopped. Soldiers who moments earlier had been shooting each other's teeth out suddenly put down their guns and joined in peaceful commune. Some played games, or like these men, planned a musical. The reason for this outburst of calm lay inside a shed, for here the massed forces of 2 world powers were unified by nothing more than the distress of a cat stuck on a high shelf. No one knows how it got there, but these brave fighting men, moved by the simplicity of the animal's plight, decided to forget their differences and try to get it down. But even as the men celebrated, their heads were blown clean off. For somebody, nobody knows who, had filled the cat with nitroglycerin.
The Day Today. News from telly to belly.
Just time for a quick look at tomorrow's headlines. Plastic surgeon arrested with stash of stolen mouths. That's in the Express. The Hull Aphrodite police chief crushes lizard with whistle. There he is, looking wretched. The Daily Mail, child made of paint wins by-election. The Murdoch papers tomorrow, crazed wolves in store, a bad mistake, admit mother care. And there's the same story in The Sun. And the Daily Mirror have a special pull-out note for the milkman. 5 pints, please. They'll be doing 3, 2 and 4 later in the week. That's it. That's the Day Today. On the day, a man on this programme told how he was menaced by Hugh Scully.
He just came in and went out.
That's it. Good night.
Available from now on commercial video. The Day Today, This Is Our War. Featuring the men and women who sacrificed themselves at the altar of fact and the beat of over 1,000 pop classics.
Dreadlock holiday. Dreadlock holiday. Clap, 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 clap. Don't be on a lady. You really got me. You really got me. Gotta stop sucking out. Gotta stop sucking out. Yeah, yeah. Stop, 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 stop. I'm wishing on a star.
The Day Today, This Is Our War. Bang after bang after bang after bang.
The headlines tonight: fist-headed man destroys church, car drives past window in town, and Leicester man wins right to eat sister. Now fact me till I fart. Coming up as stories in the programme, peace talks collapse as Serbs strap 400 monkeys to the back of Owen's Volvo.
That does make it harder to reverse.
And leave us alone, say men from Saturn.
We want to go about our daily routines as far as is at all possible.
Buckingham Palace has announced that over 40 members of royal staff have been destroyed to save money. The 43 workers learned of their fate after church on Sunday. They met the Queen and were told they would be slaughtered with scythes. That evening, they were herded into a Sandringham attic and culled in less than 10 minutes. It's not known who conducted the killings, but Princess Margaret is believed to have been involved. She was overheard yesterday saying, "You should have seen the looks on their faces. I laughed and laughed and laughed." Conditions on board the train stuck on the line for 2 days in Hampshire have deteriorated dramatically. There are fears now for the lives and sanity of those on board. Ted Moore has that story reporting.
At first, the concern was for the commuters, stuck on a train because a signal got jammed by a dead bird. But when farmer Peter Yates took them sandwiches this afternoon, the situation changed dramatically. 2 commuters jumped him like raptors and threw him aboard. 20 minutes later, he managed to get off the train and tried to escape, but was lassoed by a man with a rope and pulped. Just over an hour after that, a naked Mr. Yates appeared briefly for the last time, trying to haul himself out of a window, but it was a naff effort. Most ominously this evening, the commuters were seen struggling with a sack containing an object that was obviously as heavy as a human body, and then throwing some kind of weird ritual.
Many here fear the worst, that Mr. Yates has been killed and sacrificed by a group of ordinary men and women who less than 2 days ago were content to sit opposite each other in silence, yet today beat their chests and yell like savages. Moments ago, we intercepted the sound of the guard trying to radio for help. Time now for sport with Alan Partridge. Alan, got to say that soccer commentary was brilliant last night.
Thank you.
It really was. I mean, I'm not very interested in soccer, but I was totally absorbed and entertained by the whole thing. Great. Tell you what, take a bit of extra time if you want. Do as much as you like on this. I'll be enjoying this too.
Tonight, we're going to look at self-defence.
Brilliant.
Now, self-defence is no longer the preserve of hard men like Charles Bronson and Lee Marvin. More and more these days, we all need to know how to get a bit handy. Anyone who's been on public transport late at night will know that there are a lot of disturbed individuals out there. One minute they may be babbling incoherently, the next they could be going for your person. What do? Well, this week is National Self-Defence Week, so who better to tell us than one of Britain's best-loved judo fighting people, Commonwealth silver medalist Adam Neils. Adam.
Hi.
Now, self-defence is not simply about punching someone repeatedly in the face till they're unconscious, is it?
No, it's exactly what it says. It's defending yourself, self-defence with the minimum of force.
Weaponry?
No, just your body, that's all.
Snooker ball in a sock?
No, we teach people how to deal with that, but...
What do you call those things with two sticks with a chain between them?
Nunchaka.
Yeah, I like those. Now, can we actually see some of the basic... Can you sort of talk me through the basic...
OK, Tanya, if you...
Basics of self-defence.
Right, well, we teach people to deal with anything from a sort of general invasion of body space through to a specific act of aggression.
Right, so if I was to go like this... Wait, no! Tell her that I can't breathe.
So she's now wrested control away from you.
I cannot breathe.
Sorry, OK, that's good. She's wrested control away from you and has overcome you. The aggression's been turned against you.
What happens if someone attacks you from behind?
Right, if you were to attack me from... Right, I throw you, I could use an elbow block against you, or I could shock you, immobilise you with just twisting the skin, something...
Get off! Chris.
The American car company General Motors have today announced a cut in their workforce at their plant in Detroit. Our economics correspondent, Peter O'Hanrahan, is there at the moment. Peter, what's going on?
Chris, it's a mass redundancy measure. It's the biggest layoff in American industrial history. 35,000 jobs in one fell swoop. Gone.
35,000?
Yes.
Peter, there's only 25,000 people at the plant.
That's right, Chris. Mass redundancy on an unprecedented scale.
Well, would you mind telling me how the plant can function on minus 10,000 workers?
I don't know, Chris. You tell me.
I'll tell you what, Peter. You mean 3,500 workers have been sacked?
No, 35,000. It's all here.
Let me see what you've got down there.
It's 3,500. You're
Peter,
right.
I
made a mistake.
want to see it. I don't want to hear anything more out of your mouth. I don't believe it. Now, show me your notes.
No.
Yes.
It's 3,500.
Show me. I don't believe what you're saying. I just want to see the numbers. Now, hold them up. Hold them up and keep them up. And rotate them 180 degrees in my favour. Do it. Peter, what's that?
I don't have a monitor, Chris. I can't see what you're doing.
You know what I'm talking about. It's just above your right eye. Yes.
A cobweb?
And how's a cobweb going to dig you out of your numerical mess?
I don't know.
Peter, you're lying in a news grave. Do you know what's written on your headstone?
News.
Peter, thank you. Peter O'Hanrahan, live in Detroit.
What is a gay?
Now back to the stuck train, where one of the commuters, now no more than a bunch of wild savages, has given himself up. Here's Ted Maul.
All afternoon, aggressive volleys of rubbish thwarted attempts to get the train moving again. Barricaded into his engine, the driver has constantly to defend himself with tools. Then, in a rare lull, perhaps the commuters were sleeping or praying to some new god, one of them left the train. Gerard Hort, a civil aviation engineer, had broken free from the train of hell, but it had left its mark. The man was in no state to give an interview, but it was possible to extract the following information. The commuters are split into two factions, one led by a woman believed to be an insurance broker from Staines. They wear blue ink on their heads, and a smaller group who worship fire. They rallied round a grease monkey from Acton. With the signal here still jammed by the dead bird, there's only one hope now, that a police marksman can shoot it out, giving the driver a slim chance of making it to Liverpool Street before he's torn to pieces.
Time for travel now from Valerie Sinatra in the travel pod a mile above the centre of Great Britain. Valerie, tell me about everything.
Well, I don't know about everything, Chris, but...
I could teach you.
I do know that it's best to avoid the A1M this evening south of Newcastle. There's a crash that's been going on for several weeks, and so far it's involved 9,000 vehicles, so that's really Deathsville. Good news, however, for travellers on the M25. Workers have finished cobbling that, so that's great. The M6, however, in Liverpool is still at a standstill. That's due to the mad cow hanging from a bridge. The M50 is clogged up again. That's not my fault. And the M11 is slow between junctions 5 and 6 due to some police escorting some birds to the coast. That's about it, really.
I don't know, it looks like a Robertson's factory down there.
Sorry?
All the jam.
That's right. Golly.
Gay Desk now from Colin Popshed.
Thanks, Chris. Quick roundup of today's gayness now, starting with the roads. The M70, the A3, the B664 and the A48M, they're all gay as from midnight tonight. The gay elements are potassium, zinc, hydrogen, copper and argon. Quick look at the world's walls. The Wailing Wall is gay, Hadrian's Wall is very gay, the Great Wall of China, that's not gay, and the Old London Wall has also stopped being gay. Gay cars next. They're the same as last night. All Volkswagens registered between 1982 and 1985. They stay gay for another fortnight. And finally, the gay seas are the Caspian and the Mediterranean. So, see you there. Chris.
Thanks, Colin. He's not gay, by the way. We wouldn't employ a homosexual. Offices. We all know what they're like.
Can I borrow a stapler, please?
But many are now undergoing radical restructuring through the work of Lester Beck of Events International. His latest project was on the offices and people of Klubrox Pharmaceuticals in Windsor.
Yeah, we can, as much as you want, Harry.
Anthony Pon is Klubrox's office manager. He and his sales staff are about to become part of a unique experiment in management training.
It was about Thursday, wasn't it?
An experiment they shall never forget, and from which one of them will never physically recover.
So what we must do is construct a raft, and onto the raft we will put ourselves.
Lester Beck is the author of a radical management system known as disassemblage. The disassemblage procedure relies on dismantling each employee's emotional makeup and then reassembling it in a different order.
What are we? Are we human? Are we fully human? Or are we not human? What does it mean to be not human? We need to be human. So, let's get it into the present, huh? Let's kick some ass into life.
The team convene at 6 a.m. of the first day and are immediately disassembled.
You know that you often say instead of speaking? Did you know that?
No.
Does everyone else notice this about Anthony?
Yes.
Therefore, every time you say we're going to remind you that you're saying by going as well, okay? Don't take it personal.
I'm the office. I'm the office manager. I'm responsible for the round. I'm the office manager. Yeah, all right. Stop it. Stop it.
Good. I want you to give Christine a gift, and the gift you're going to give Christine is the gift of the truth of who she is to you. John.
You dress like an old lady and you've got a stupid face.
Good. Hit Christine. Christine, say thank you.
Thank you.
Good. Lisa.
You're hairy and you're lonely and you've got a...
Just two will do, Lisa.
Well, you're hairy and you're lonely.
Hit Christine. Good. Anthony.
You've got no sense of humour and you're always there.
Christine, hit Anthony.
Oh.
Good. Good.
Beck takes the team out into the field to test purchasing techniques.
Okay, what we're going to do is we're going to buy a newspaper, okay? And this is where we're going to get what we want. John.
Hey, hello, my name's John. I'd like a Today newspaper, please. That's 25.
25, yep.
He's got the right change.
Thanks very much.
Thank you very much.
Good, John. Anthony.
Lester, can I just ask, are we, is it...
Buy a paper, Anthony.
One thing, though.
Buy a paper.
Can I don't know, because I've already bought one, you see. I don't know whether I should buy the same one or...
That's not important for the exercise.
Can I have a... please stop it!
Come on, Anthony, buy a paper. Come on. Okay, buy some candy, I don't care.
I don't go on! That's all! I got the mirror! I got it! I got the mirror!
Coming up, Clinton welcomed home after machine gunning 400 buffalo. And the siege on the stuck train has ended. A police marksman shot the dead bird out of the signal at 7 o'clock this evening. And the train, which had been stuck on the line for 57 hours, full of commuters going berserk, pulled off in a cloud of burnt diesel. By the time they arrived in London, most of the commuters had put their clothes back on and wiped off the blood. More cuts in the NHS have been announced today. Here with a resume of its 30-year decline, Fiona Harlem.
Few people would deny that were it one of its own patients, the NHS would be on the critical list. What was once the healthy, bouncing boy child of Ernest Bevan is now barely more than a disease-racked, breathless corpse. But why? In 1979, funding for the NHS stood at over £10 billion. But by the late 80s, government cuts left the service with 37% less cash. So that's only 3% in real terms. So what in the end will happen to this? Chris.
Thank you, Fiona. I'm joined now by the Junior Minister of Health in our one-to-one discussion area, Matthew Crean. Now, Mr. Crean, you've taken the money out of the NHS. You're the man responsible here. What do you say?
I want to say I want to discuss this report.
Well, let's not discuss this report. Let's discuss the figures.
No, we have to discuss the report because this report is a tissue of lies. It is,
Hang
as
on a
usual.
second. Let's just stick to the figures, shall we? You're destroying the lives of patients. What do you say about
No,
that?
I want to stick to this report. This report is a tissue of lies. It's completely jaundiced.
What are you saying? Lies?
Absolute lies. It's nonsense from beginning to end.
How dare you say this?
I think this report is a perfect example of tabloid television.
Right,
and
I'm
it's
not
very
prepared to listen to this. I'm not having any more of this. I didn't come here for this evening. I certainly didn't want to talk to people like you. Now, don't ever come back again. I really don't have any of this fucking bastard anyway. I'm going home now. I'm off. I'm never coming back.
The Day Today. Bagpiping fact into news.
Environation from me, Rosie May. The war raging between two nations of crabs in the Bay of Biscay has claimed more human lives. Last night, a Portuguese trawler was dragged underwater by the turbulence of a massive battle between over 400 million crabs fighting for territory on the ocean floor. Blinking. In England, over 700 million hours a year are spent blinking. That's why a Leeds firm has built a special light which switches itself off for the duration of each blink. The device is also triggered by other activities which don't require light, such as sleeping and grieving. I'm Rosie May, and the world is at my teat.
Staying now with the world, but it's the human world this time, which is around the animal world and sometimes on top of it, making a politics and events rather than environment stuff. With the day-to-day international news roundup. Moscow.
Hello, Chris. Here in Moscow, it's Russia's chronic nuclear waste problem that's dominating the news live this hour. The latest plan is to hand out small parcels of plutonium waste to school children. Nuclear experts visit schools and the children are taught songs celebrating the efficiency of atomic power. At the end of the day, the children queue up for their plutonium, which comes in a bag bearing the instruction, take this home and deal with it.
Tokyo.
Thanking you live from Tokyo, where it's 3:30 in the morning. That's -7 in new Japanese time.
In just 7 hours, the first of 30 full-size duplicate Japans will be switched on, and all clocks will be reset to 00000. The new Japans have been 3 years in construction, involving perfect replication of cities and people and children. The raft of new countries, which extends over 5,000 miles into the Pacific, has been hidden until now, but was spotted yesterday from an aeroplane. Japan has so far refused to comment.
Rome! Live thanks from Rome, where the two French boys who hacked into the Vatican computers and changed Catholic doctrine are still being held by cardinals in Assisi.
In a sensational development today, a video showing Stefan and Jed Madro, bruised but alive, was broadcast on Italian television with Vatican approval. The boys were snatched from the street 2 days ago and held in a turret after admitting they had tapped into the new Vatican Theology Bank, a computer which contains the full doctrine and law of the Catholic Church. The Vatican realized the computer had been tampered with when they discovered Jesus had died of food poisoning, aged 19, and Lou Reed had been canonized as a saint.
And that's the way the world is today from Rome.
From Tokyo.
And from Moscow.
Goodbye.
Chris.
Wrong, all of you, because Calately's Sisters is doing the business, not me.
Thanks, Chris. And there was a big whoop of dismay in the city today, Chris, when Troublefinch Dusky Holdings chopped off an eighth at 2.4 after a disappointing gutter surge tomorrow. Chris. The Central Numerical Council issued the new 7 today. It'll be 3 kilos heavier than the old 7 and made of glass. Chris. Calately Sisters. SPAC Handy Chop Tubes up 2.4, but let's see how the pound fared today with a quick look at the currency Susan. And as you can see, it started off the day quite healthily as a medium Susan, while the yen surged to a quite attractive, popular Susan by close of trading, with the mark resting on a plain, dumpy Susan with bad ears. Chris. Summary. Business. Chris.
Your complaints.
This is my complaint, right? TV is the most unkinning, unhappening, unsucceeded piece of sheet in the hood right now. You gotta get it. Totally discount you. More in the area, see, I'm talking. More ragga, more boggle, more death metal and Belgian house. You hear me? Let's get TV banging, motherfuckers.
When I drive my car, I am not driving, I am participating in a conspiracy called traffic. I will walk.
Time now for the weather from Sylvester Stewart on the Weather Pinball.
Starting tonight in the southwest, where it should rain in drops the size of a wrestler, but fortunately, most of the rain, they're not quite reaching the ground. On now to Scotland and the north of England. Quite warm, about the temperature of a cow. However, a very stupid area of low pressure moving in from the Midlands will bring some heavy breezes later on, a bit like the first rush of euphoria induced by a large dose of heroin. On to the northeast. There'll be some heavy thunder there, about as loud as a woman. So the summary then? Cool showers wet, cool showers wet, cool showers wet, cool showers wet, cool showers wet.
Time now for Alan Partridge. Got some sport for us?
Certainly have, Chris.
Great.
And just some late-night soccer results. Here they are for Division 2. Sheffield Bonanza 1, Dynamo Aberdare 4, Manchester Coherent 2, Gil Morel 2. And the Scottish Division 1 game between Taste of Dunfermline and Strathcarnage cannot be stopped. Good night.
Your complaints.
This is my complaint, right? TV is the most unkinking, unhappening, unsussed piece of sheet in the hood right now.
Look at the lens, please.
Oh, sorry. You got to get it. Totally discount you. More in the area, see? I'm talking more rugger, more boogle, more death, mental and...
Death metal.
Well, death metal and Belgian house. You hear me? Let's get TV banging, mud the far cuss.
And look at the camera again and nod your head as you say that.
So, mud the far cuss.
And let's say that again once more into the camera, the last bit.
Mud the far cuss.
Thank you, sir.
Back now to the day-to-day documentary on the efforts of Lester Beck to revamp the people and offices of Kluberox Chemicals in Windsor.
Okay, let's make the
Day 3, and Lester Beck places a powerful new variable in the office environment.
If we released a live pig into the office, how would you be able to cope? Lisa.
What, the pig that's our anger?
Within us.
No, pig. A real pig. What would happen? Would you be able to cope? Let's see. Okay, please release the pig. Release the pig, please.
Oh,
Thank
no,
you.
it's a pig.
Okay,
It's a
this
real
is
pig.
Snorkel. Say hello to Snorkel the pig. Get involved with the pig.
Who allowed you to
Get
get
involved
this
with
pig
the
in
pig. It's standard practice in Events International to intertextualize
This is
with a
my
pig.
office. This is my office. Get this pig.
Get a knife.
Get this.
Get a knife. Let's kill it.
Stop it.
Get a knife or something.
This is my office. You have.
I think, will you, Andrew,
Listen to
just because it might drop
Stop
his baby.
shouting.
He might have a
please.
baby.
It will if you keep shouting.
Listen to
Just
Christine.
let's
She's
put some
speaking
paper-
sense
and
here.
you stop shouting, and please, can we let's just put some paper down and keep it happy.
Right.
Come on now. Come on, pig.
Good, Christine.
We've got an apple in the You just sit on that. Can I get some water?
Hello? See, the pig doesn't care about you, but you care about the pig. This is your problem.
Could you get to my desk, please?
Yes. Hello. We're a bit tied up at the moment. Can you wait?
Tell him about the pig.
We've got we've got something happening. I'm so sorry. We've got a pig in the office. A pig. Yes, it is a real one.
Please continue that conversation.
Meanwhile, in training sessions, one employee, John Histons, questions Beck's techniques.
Let me ask you your question. When you go to the toilet, do you have an Armitage Shanks interface defecation scenario, or do you just have a shit?
Mummy's gone. And you want to cry like a baby.
You.
That's good, John. Help him onto the carpet.
Down you come.
Now, John, I want you to imagine that the carpet is your mother. Beat up on your mom who left you.
Go on. Get it out, John. Go on.
Go on, hit it.
Hit it, John. Don't cheat on yourself.
Imagine it's your mother. Go on.
It's your mother.
Where did you go?
Go on.
Kick it. Go and kick it as
She
well.
left you,
Kick
John.
it.
She didn't understand that you were suffering, and it's taken you 25 years to get
Get
over
it.
it.
Really
but
get
you're
it back
doing
for
it
everything
now,
she's
John.
done to me over
That's
the
good.
years. Just get
Beat
in
up on the
there.
carpet.
Go on, John. Don't give up.
She's taken all the best years of my life. Just get in there.
Christine, don't get too excited.
Okay, let's look at next week, please.
3 months later, the office at Kluberok's has been rationalised.
Can you tell them to ring back in 5, please? And the Egham account. Can
I'll
you
do everyone the same day as coffee tonight.
Excellent.
No problem.
Good.
No problem.
Lisa, now, the dry calling in the Windsor area was very weak last week. If you could really push it next week, that would be excellent, okay?
Yes, I can.
Brilliant, that's all.
For John Histons, the training course was his last memory of the company. He left shortly after it to follow a new direction.
A lot of people are very surprised, that I ended up in the butcher's. But at the office, well, it wasn't really me, But here, I know I've got exactly what to do. I like meat. I like working with meat. I'm happy with it. In a way, I respect it more than people.
And if you were to see Lester back again, how would you react?
I'd stab him with this knife, yeah.
The Day Today. News Filch.
And just time for a quick look at tomorrow's... The Independent, Bank of England recovers from swollen chairman unusualness. The Telegraph go with Simon Rattle lost in Cress. The Daily Mail, pretty keen on lassoed bat wins Booker. They devote 4 pages to that. The Daily Mirror, rather upset. Fleetwood Mac buried in dog avalanche. And today, ride with old woman killed by little glass planet. It's a story there by Andrew Penman. Due to a printing error, tomorrow's Guardian is full of water. That's it. That's the day today, on the day the world learned that Cliff Richard is pregnant. Good night.
A 999 special tonight, 9:30
Coming to air
BBC
in
One.
10, 9,
In half an hour, we
8,
pay our regular
7,
visit to Ramsey
6,
Street.
5,
Before that's
4,
on BBC One,
3,
the 1 o'clock news
2,
with John
1,
Chaser.
0, 1, 2, 3, 4.
Run A, Nix. Thank you.
Broadcast news is very important to tell people about the world, and to be a trusted source of information is something perhaps in this country we take for granted. And English, of course, is our currency. Words is how we do it.
The plane, a twin-engined MD-83 belonging to Air Tours, was bringing back holidaymakers from Las Palmas in the Canary Islands. An inquiry has begun into the circumstances of the crash landing.
The undercarriage collapsed on landing.
White. Thank you.
I think news matters because it is a daily record of what is going on. The basis of news is not necessarily to interpret or to analyse, but it actually is to give it straight. It's a sort of tablet of record of the day.
Cut. Thank you.
And at 26 minutes past 1, the main news again.
Go take cut.
Broadcast news has come a long way. Seen in the early days as very much the poor relation of the press, the first bulletins were often newspaper stories, simply read aloud on air. What television news has evolved into is a distinctive way of using pictures and words together that seems to tell us the truth about the world.
The headlines tonight: NATO annulled after delegate swallows treaty. I'm so sorry, yells exploding cleaner.
It's the brash self-confidence of the news that can make it an easy target for parody.
Those are the headlines. God, I wish they weren't.
The Day Today set out to be important. It is the most important news programme that has ever existed for eternity. Globe after globe representing different facets of the news. There's the science globe, the geography globe, the technology globe, the money globe, bursts out at us from this background mush, the primeval swamp of graphics. It announces itself as the most important thing that has ever been on television.
Hello, sir.
And the musical chords go on for slightly too long. And that's the key to understanding the day-to-day. It's exaggeration of something that already exists. We didn't really create a new way of speaking. All we did is took what was there and pushed it a teeny bit further.
The Day Today, because fact into doubt won't go.
And we've just heard that areas in 3 of Britain's biggest cities are being evacuated due to suspect dogs.
The fictional news series The Day Today was first broadcast in 1994, sometimes revoicing existing news footage, but more often using actors to manufacture its own. It set out to blur the boundaries between fact and fiction.
But as the remains were being taken for laboratory tests, a second dog ran out from the crowd. It could have been a bomb.
The aim of the day-to-day was to authenticate the absurd. People did turn on during the day-to-day and think it was another news programme until they came across something and they just thought, hang on a sec, that can't possibly be true. Policemen can't be going around shooting dogs. It looks true, it seems true. The editing is true, the shots are true. It breathes news.
This evening, a monument had been built, marking the end, perhaps, of the relationship between man and dog, which today went from this to this.
Right, we now move on to scripting moving pictures, the most exciting skill in the television journalist's armoury.
These young journalists are right at the start of their broadcasting careers. Selected for the BBC's prestigious journalists course, they're 8 weeks into their 4-month training. Having spent time in radio, this is their first taste of making television news.
Remember, like radio, they only hear it once. So try and make it easy for them to absorb.
Their first task, to script a set of shots about freezing weather in Moscow. They can draw on a press release giving the background to the story, but it needs condensing into a 10-second introduction to be read by the newsreader, and then a script that fits the 24 seconds of picture.
We've done some work in radio before, but this is the first time most of us have come across to work in television, so it's a new experience completely. It's fairly easy to know what the story's about. It's more difficult to match the words up to the pictures, and you have to think about the picture that's coming on screen and try and match the words up, and that's fairly difficult, getting the timing right, getting the right numbers of words for the minutes that you've got.
A cold mass of air has swept across the former Soviet Union, sending the temperatures plummeting to minus 20 degrees centigrade. Scientists at Russia's Meteorological Institute say that the severe weather is on its way to Europe. The Russian countryside is always prettiest when it's under snow, but people are struggling to cope with the adverse weather conditions, which is cutting off roads and is causing delays on the Russians' rail network.
In television, a vast amount of the information is delivered by the pictures. And that, to begin with, I think people coming from radio or print find that very difficult to understand. The more words you have doesn't necessarily mean the more comprehension. In fact, what we often try and stress to the trainees that actually less is more.
Monitors at Moscow's Meteorological Institute show that November's temperatures have broken all records this century. Moscow may look pretty in the snow, but 8 people have died, and many are being treated for hypothermia. Whilst Britain won't get that cold, sub-zero temperatures could lie in store.
You wouldn't go up to somebody in a pub to tell them about the bad weather forecast to say sub-zero temperatures could lie in store. It's not the way you talk. You'd turn the television on, and there is a human being telling you the news. And there is a barrier, an artificial barrier, if you get the impression they're just reading you a script out loud.
Well, the style that you use is quite tabloidy. It's quite simple. It's a case of letting the story be told by the picture, so the viewer doesn't want lots and lots of detail, doesn't want lots of background, just basically wants to be able to watch the pictures and have you explain the background and explain what you're seeing, really.
Moscow scientists say the cause was a massive anticyclone from Siberia, bringing with it temperatures of minus 20.
It seems like you need maths. Basically, you've got to add and subtract and work out how long every word is going to take you. So inevitably I've had a few pauses, a few fluffs, and the first time I overwrote, I wrote too much, which looked a bit daft, and so I've had to learn my lesson and cut down.
The essence of writing to pictures is not to view each picture in isolation. It's to try and gather and collect some pictures and then write in a sequence to those pictures. The danger when they start is that they get very tied up with the mathematics of it at 3 words a second. And as most pictures in television news last approximately 3 seconds, they feel that their words are having to chase each picture in isolation.
The day today. The last scintilla of doubt just rode out of town.
Like a kind of double-barreled shotgun. The message is coming at you simultaneously. The words and the pictures have to work together. And I think it's making sure they're complementary. The main thing is not to allow the words to simply describe the pictures.
Oxford Street in London with 3 policemen and a knotted tape barrier. A stray dog was spotted here an hour ago and everybody ran out. Police then isolated the area containing the dog and told the public to clear off.
As well as location reports, the day-to-day team parodied another news staple, the graphic sequence.
The only way police can neutralise bomb dogs is to spray them with a resin coating which hardens instantly to contain any explosion. The inside of the bomb dog is obviously destroyed, but the outside stays the same shape.
One thing that graphics would do is to break things down into a lot of stages and levels and try and clearly label those stages of animation, so to very naturally lead the viewer's eye and explain a story. Normally, they're keywords actually taken from the journalist narration going over the top. Not only did the words explain the graphic, but were used to quite comic effect.
If the underside is not covered, a highly directional blast launches the animal vertically to a height of over 1,000 feet.
I think the intention behind the whole programme was that it shouldn't be a programme which is funny because things go wrong or because things are badly made. The intention was to make it super efficient, super clean, super real, super newsy, like News Plus. Everything that you would want to do in a news programme, but you quite often don't have time.
So there's the beginning of time globe. The following globe is a more up-to-date representation of Earth as we know it, but with this slightly ridiculous self-importance of having Great Britain oversized compared to the rest of the world. Again, the background to that pound coin globe shows images of people in stock exchanges and takes patterns from currency. So everything should relate. Then we have a sports globe. The background layer has a videotape of a snooker player. We would combine that video with a texture, that texture related to the generic feeling of the show, but also within that texture were lines taken off of sports reference, so football pitches or athletics tracks. There's many sports cliches in one graphic. The animations are quite dramatic. All of these globes and things pouring out towards you. In some ways quite threatening. And maybe that's something news does, is it very much imposes itself upon the viewer. It says, this is what we're going to tell you, you look at this.
The Bank of England is in chaos following the discovery that the pound has been stolen.
The pound was stolen at 1:30 this afternoon by thieves dressed as cleaners. They drove a white Montego.
The key thing is about dramatising the news. Obviously, their opening titles are incredibly dramatic. They love to have that sense of urgency. We are live for no particular reason. It's glossed over with a kind of matiness, and it produces this kind of other world of the news studio, which is unlike any other world we've all experienced.
Yeah, but you can't be saying we should get rid of the speed limits.
The day-to-day studios in impressive, dark, slightly menacing tones, bigger than is necessary. Chris Morris sits at an enormous desk with his very own Star Trek control panel, 3 little monitors and other big monitors scattered all over the place. We wanted to give the feeling that the news was happening and rushing down and pouring onto his desk from every corner of the globe. Which then means that when we do our comedy stories, we completely undermine that and create the juxtaposition, the believability that the bollocks that we're telling is true because it's told in apparently such a genuine, intended way.
Travel now from Valerie Sinatra in her pod a mile above the centre of Great Britain. Valerie, talk me some road.
Another presentation issue was the choice of voices and presenters. Gender, accent and styles of delivery were all used to particular effect.
Skin across 3 lanes, so watch out.
All the actors took it in turns to play different presenters of different items. And those we tended to base on sort of local news journalists. We tended to give them slightly, not exactly regional accents, but slightly off-standard accents, or the odd speech impediment, or something, just to imply that perhaps they hadn't quite made it to the main news, and that was why Chris Morris was presenting the main bits and we were all pushed out to the periphery.
Finally, a look at the capital, which is London. Worse than ever tonight, I'm afraid. Lots of cars on Oxford Street being slowed down by their own lights.
And remember, we want somebody to do graphics as well. We've got a graphics hour. Varen's going to do graphics. Yeah. So if you can think of a story that would lend itself to graphics and try and do something, you know, cast around. I mean, look in the newspapers even, Varen.
3 days later, and the next step for the trainees, bringing studio, location reports and graphics together in a 15-minute bulletin.
Yes, good morning.
The deadline, 3 o'clock.
Whether there'll be anything new coming in, I imagine there will be. Confirmation's not till 3:30, so we won't get that, but I think you can do a kind of a preview.
Short, sharp sentences, keep it simple. They get completely blinkered by the computer screen where they're tapping away. And we always say to them, look, stop, read this out. And they are very much confined, as it were, by writing in one medium for broadcasting in another.
James, try and think of a headline for this television channel thing. So the bids are in to run Britain's 5th television channel. Will Rupert Murdoch add another something to his media empire? I can't think of the something.
The theme is always trying to develop good spoken English as opposed to journalese. Obviously, tabloid journalism is in love with short monosyllables which are punchy and dramatic. Bid, probe, shock. And it is very easy to believe that this is the right currency for news.
But yeah, something more than element. You know,
Another block to
you
his
say
media
element.
empire.
Look set to
Block, what about block? Block to his media empire? Does that sound good?
element.
Well, you agree that
Another conquest, no.
It's trying to make sure the vocabulary is a natural spoken vocabulary. And the other type of journalese is this phraseology, which is one that we just come to expect. Fleets of ambulances rush the injured to hospital. Well, why are ambulances always in fleets? And, well, yes, they normally take people to hospital as quickly as is sensible. It's just one of those phrases.
Asset.
Asset. That's it. Asset to his media empire. Brilliant.
Adjectives are really taboo. I mean, not entirely, but you don't actually need adjectives the way you do in other media. That's partly because the power of the pictures is actually conveying the words and the sense. So, for instance, if you're talking about somebody wearing a stunning outfit, you could either see that as being editorial. I mean, who am I to say that it's a stunning outfit? Viewers may think it's the most appalling dress that's ever been seen on television. Secondly, if it is that stunning, then the viewer can see that for themselves. You don't need to waste words describing in television. What you're always trying to do in television is actually add something to what you're seeing.
This is your first time in a...
Yeah, I've seen other people doing it.
Yeah, okay.
There is a picture, just to warn you, about a minute in, I think, there's a picture of people hoisting white flags outside buildings, and I could write into that.
Okay.
The trainees have 30 minutes in an edit suite to put their stories together.
Throw that grenade.
It's a very severe discipline. It's like the art of précis, trying to make sure that not a second is wasted, that the pictures do actually give a balanced, brief portrait of what went on, not distorting the event, and trying to put all those things together into a fairly disciplined, maybe 120-second report does take a great deal of work. Everyone's learning how to do it all the time.
Shot this time for you, I think.
The day-to-day team chose to deliberately unlearn a lot of what they knew about putting television together in order to parody particular news styles, like the distinctive differences in the way different countries shoot and edit the news.
America now, and this report.
Milwaukee State Penitentiary, and on death row, it's wedding bells, not execution yells, as condemned strangler Chapman Baxter prepares to tie the knot with female felon Charlene Gray.
The look of the American stories was very important. You had to believe that they came from America. It's more than just Barbara Wintergreen's American accent. Barbara is queen of alliteration.
Meanwhile, Baxter's bride-to-be is busy with last-minute preparations for her impending ending.
Did you ever kill anyone?
Only my dog.
The Americans are far more hack and slash than we are. They use a few too many shots, and there's no finesse in the editing because all the shots are grabbed. You just slap it in to illustrate the point that you're currently making.
We chose to use all the wobbly shots that we could find. We used all the zooms that we could find. Generally the ones that didn't resolve and focus at the end were the preferred takes.
It's the morning of the nupticution, and everything's ready to give these newly deads a sizzling send-off.
I'm just going to take the shot as if it's being grabbed through a melee of other cameramen and photographers. I'll go in a little bit further so the zoom's already started. It's always a good thing to let something come into frame and also to exit it if you can. In news, you don't have that luxury. So the way that we do that, and it all sounds very repetitive, you just come in, bang on the zoom. The editing is the way by which you apply the grammar, if you want to talk about it as a language, which you can either follow or not, depending on what you want to do. Good grammar would be to pause, let the camera pull back, pause on the end, cut. But we're using very bad grammar here.
We've really worked hard at, we've given him his own room, he's got his Bon Jovi posters,
The transfer of the material from their television system to ours comes across very badly. And we put it through a whole load of different electronic processes to actually create the look that you actually see on the screen.
You've been smashing Nada, is that true? Yeah, we have
And of course, it's 100 times worse than it would really appear on the TV, but everybody is convinced by it because it looks so real.
At this fallopian factory, people come for a...
The final element, the performance. Body language, intonation and dress, all adding to the effect.
Marcia, the wardrobe woman, and I went shopping and bought bright orange trouser suits, bright yellow skirt suits, all sorts of things. Everything that was bright, sort of vivid colours and gold buttons. It was all mock Chanel, it was mock Christian Dior. She looked like she had a lot of money. The wig that Lisa Cavalli-Green gave me was immaculate. The makeup was inches thick. All of that combines to give you a complete posture. You have to smile in a particular way if your makeup's that thick. You can't move your head too much. I in normal speech, tend to move my head around a lot, but Barbara couldn't do that. She had to be very poised. The nails dictate that you hold the microphone in a particular way.
Barbara Wintergreen, CBN News at the Natus Institute, San Spirito, California.
Once it's roughly done, that would cool. Thank you, mate.
Berlin is Terry.
Okay. Which item number is it?
If the wrong name comes up, don't worry, alternate. I'll cue you over the correct camera, hopefully. Here we go, stand by.
A bomb attack on the Croatian capital Zagreb has killed 3 people and left many injured. The attack is a severe blow to the United Nations' efforts to make peace. The bids are in to run Britain's 5th national channel. Will Rupert Murdoch add another asset to his media empire?
Television is about teamwork, not only in terms of the technology, but actually in the authorship of the words you're writing. You may start off writing a script, which will be then checked by several people up the chain before it actually is delivered to a presenter to read it on autocue. They're changing it actually in order to speak it in their particular personal style. It doesn't make it right or wrong, it's just the way they read it.
Today is the 50th anniversary of the fall of Berlin to the advancing Russian army. The event marked the end of Nazi rule and the start of...
They're only seeing 3 words in one line, and at any one time they're probably only seeing 3 lines. And if they don't feel that the sentence is ever going to end, we get the frightened rabbit and they stare at the screen and it all looks horrible and the viewer gets very upset and stops listening.
After 2 weeks of battle, the flags of surrender went up, and over the Reichstag building, the Soviet flag was hauled. Today, after years of division, Berlin's...
The main junction that I wanted to hit was, it went from the black and white archives picture of Berlin during the war, and then it cut to the colour picture of Berlin today, hey presto, and that happened.
There'll be no formal celebrations today to mark its fall, but events of 50 years ago helped make Berlin what it is today.
A little bit of electric excitement.
The trainees have come a long way. When it's going well, it looks and sounds like the real thing.
Bomb raid came shortly after 8:30 this morning, sending plumes of smoke billowing across Zagreb.
All the visual and verbal conventions they've been learning to use come across as natural and transparent, and we seem to be looking straight out onto the real world.
Now the main news again. War has returned to the Croatian capital, Zagreb.
It's only when things go wrong or are pushed to the limit by parody that you realise how carefully contrived these conventions actually are.
Apparently by a hacksaw falling from a tree onto her head.
There's always a danger that we'll fool ourselves that this is a totally natural process, whereas it isn't. And there's an irony there, isn't there? Remember when the famous American anchorman, Walter Cronkite, finally retired, and he was a very, very successful and popular man. He was asked what was the secret of his success, and he said, sincerity. If you can fake that, you've got it.
That's all for now from Sarah and me. There'll be more news at 4 o'clock. Good afternoon.